The Tigers have won 3 of the last 4 as they reach the halfway point of this 11-game West Coast road trip.
Yes, and tonight at the Kingdome, it'll be a battle of the left-handers, Frank Tanana and Randy Johnson. The Tigers and the Mariners coming up next.
Last night in his first start since early May, Walt Terrell looked impressive, pitching 6 solid innings. A cast of 4 relievers held the Mariners the rest of the way for a 6-4 Tiger win. Tonight, another veteran, Frank Tanana, tries to continue the Tigers' winning ways. Next is the Tigers and the Mariners, late night from Seattle. Tigers Baseball, brought to you by your neighborhood 7-Eleven stores, proud sponsors of Tigers Baseball, and by Smooth Bush Beer, an easy drinking Bush Light.
Good evening and welcome to the Kingdome in Seattle. I'm George Kell along with Kaline. Well, the Tigers are in the midst of a 11-game road trip. Sparky talked about it before the ball game, and here's the way he assesses this road trip.
Well, I think so far on this trip, we played 4 games in Oakland and won 2 of them, which I was satisfied with because I think anytime you go into Oakland, it's awful tough over there. And then winning the first game here in Seattle, I was pleased with because it's awful tough to win in Seattle. I don't know why it is, but you come up here and it's awful tough coming up into the Dome when you played outside, usually on grass, either in Oakland or Anaheim, and then you come up here and you get locked in the Dome, and I think that it's really tough. So far, I'm pleased with it. I think we're pitching pretty good. And that's been the thing we've been doing a little bit lately is pitching pretty good. I don't think we're hitting real well yet. I'd like to see us start hitting, but other than that, I'm pleased with our young pitchers. It seems like our young pitchers are just getting better and better.
Yeah, I think he would be pleased with his young pitchers, the way Knutson has wrapped up a couple of games on this trip. Tonight, it's going to be a couple of left-handers, veteran left-handers. Frank Tanana, Al, will pitch for the Tigers, and a real surprise, pleasant surprise, pitching well.
Well, as the season has gotten on, he has pitched better and better. At 39 years old, he's a consummate pitcher. He knows how to work the hitters, set the hitters up, and he's been pitching the best baseball of his life the last 6 outings.
Well, he's won 8, lost 6 on the year, and Sparky sends him after number 9 here at the Kingdome tonight against a tall left-hander, Randy Johnson. Now, we don't have much luck with this fella.
Well, this guy is the tallest pitcher in the history of baseball at 6'10", and he throws anywhere from 94 to 98 miles an hour. He's a power pitcher, and he strikes out a lot of people. He does give up a lot of base on balls, and he has been tough on the Tigers, even though they've been able to beat him a few times. He has pitched extremely well against them. In fact, he pitched a no-hitter against them.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, he did pitch a no-hitter. He's 5-10 on the year, and we'll be right back at the Kingdome after these messages.
Seen it before. The ones who run with the herd, and the one who always seems to run alone. See him often enough, though.
You take me back to that feeling.
Remember that great feeling of rolling down the road, knowing your car is safe and running right? Your professional automotive technician wants you to keep that great feeling. That's why more and more of America's top professionals are installing top-quality CarQuest parts. You depend on them to fix your car right the first time, and they depend on CarQuest for their parts.
CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
batting lineup, Sparky Anderson will send against the Mariners tonight. Leading off at second base, Tony Phillips. Batting second, Dan Gladden in left field. The third batter, Travis Fryman, shortstop. Batting fourth, first base, Cecil Fielder. The fifth batter, Mickey Tettleton, DH. Batting sixth in right field, Mark Carrion. The seventh batter, Skeeter Barnes, playing third base. Batting eighth, catching it again tonight, Chad Cruder. And the ninth batter in center field again tonight, Gary Pettis. Defensively for the Mariners in the outfield, Mitchell, Cotto, and Bruner. Esquell, Reynolds, Lance Parrish is playing first base. Valley behind the plate, and Randy Johnson, the big, tall, lanky, 6'10" left-hander who can throw the ball as hard as anybody in the game today. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the greatest control. He has 2 shutouts already this season in 16 starts. He's making his second start against the Tigers. Randy 2-2 lifetime against the Tigers with a 4.15 earned run average in 5 games. And as we mentioned before, he pitched a no-hitter against the Detroit Tigers. He has the base on ball 77 in 100 innings. So if you're patient, he will give you a lot of chance to get a base on balls. But he's tough. You notice you don't have very many left-handers in the lineup against Randy Johnson.
No, this big fella in his complete major league career has allowed only 3 home runs against left-handed hitting. So it'll be Phillips to lead it off. The switch-hitting Tony Phillips, batting right-handed. Dan Gladden will bat second, and then Fryman, the shortstop. As Al told you, against the 6'10" Randy Johnson. How tall was Conley? Pitched for Boston, played in the
6'8".
6'8".
6'8". Dave DeBuscher, 6'6".
We've had a few big ones. They've all. I don't know whether this fella could play NBA ball or not, but Conley did, and Mr. Butcher did, and played it extremely well. 1 strike to Tony Phillips, who had a big night last night. 3 hits, batted in a couple, scored a couple, batted in the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. And the 1 strike pitch. It's the curveball, makes it 1-1. Terry Kraft is behind the plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Dave Phillips at first base, Rocky Rose at second, and Jim Joyce, the umpire, at third base. And the 1-1 pitch to Tony. This fellow throws hard, as you probably detected on that pitch, as he just blew it by Phillips.
Well, nothing fancy here. He just rears back and throws the fastball right down where Tony likes it. Usually if you get to Johnson, you get him in the first and second inning. He's allowed 57 runs, 26 in the first and second innings. So that's 46% of the runs that he allows. He allows in the first and second innings.
And the pitching report on him, he can be wild. He's walked a lot of batters. He's hit a few batters. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he fouls it away. I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to get a little giddy up with that bat tonight.
Yeah, a little giddy up is right.
We haven't had that for a while, but you're going to have it.
One thing you can't do, you can't be looking for a breaking ball on this guy. You got to be looking for the heater. Tony Phillips, 11 of his last 14 games, he's led off the first inning with a base hit. So he's trying to keep that going.
A 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. The fastball by him, and Tony Phillips strikes out. Take a look at it.
Take a look at a fastball right down the middle, and nothing fancy. And I think that's all he aims for, is the middle of the plate. He throws so hard, and if he hits the corner, that's great. But finished second in the American League in strikeouts last year. He had 228 a year ago.
There's Dan Gladden playing in left field tonight. And had a couple of base hits, very important base hits last night. This one is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Baltimore just keeps rolling along. They are running all over the White Sox. 7-2 in the bottom of the 7th. hit hard into center field, and Dan Gladden is on with a base hit. First hit of the ball game, first base runner. Gladden is there with 1 out, and the batter will be Travis Fryman.
Well, if you're a line drive ground ball hitter, you have to love hitting on AstroTurf. This is an out playing at Tiger Stadium or in most other grass infields, but on the AstroTurf, it's a base hit. Lance Parrish playing first base.
I talked to Lance before the ball game, and he says, you know, there's so many things to think about over here that catching, it just comes natural to you. I have to stop and think. Sometimes it's too late. No strikes to Fryman. He had a big hit last night. A double that drove in 2. The Tigers in front 6-3. And they won it 6-4.
Travis, a couple of home runs off of Johnson. One this year, one last year.
He bats with a runner at first and 1 out here in the first inning. There goes the base runner. And he had a good jump, and Travis fouled it away. Looks like he might be able to get a good jump on Johnson. He does not have a great move to first base. Of course, the big leg kick that we mentioned so often.
Well, being that big, it takes a lot longer to deliver the pitch to home.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's the breaking ball. 1-2 to Fryman. He is able to get the breaking ball over. He'll be doubly tough. They play Travis to pull, even though Johnson throws extremely hard. Move to first base. It's a rather awkward move, and by the time he gets straightened out and makes a hard throw over there, you've got time to react. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Randy Johnson delivers outside, 2-2. Batting at .289, 14 home runs, and 61 runs batted in. He's had some big hits on this trip since the All-Star game. Some big runs batted in. No, he didn't swing at it. They checked with the first base coach, but it didn't look like he made any attempt to swing. 3-2 to Travis. Which probably means that Gladden will be running. He was running earlier on a hit-and-run play. He's just got to be sure Johnson pitches instead of throwing to first base. Very good. San Diego a winner. They beat the Phillies again. The Phillies are struggling at home right now. Manager Jim Fregosi got an extension of his contract yesterday. So Fryman strikes out. He blew a high fastball by him. Sounded like maybe he tipped it.
First baseman, number 45, Cecil Fielder.
Well, he reaches back and gets a little extra. This ball is out of the strike zone, but Travis is such a good fastball hitter. He thinks he can get on top of that ball, and it was out of the strike zone.
And the big man, Cecil Fielder, will step in with a runner at first and 2 outs. This is Cecil's kind of ballpark. He can reach this fence, the fences here, in any part of this park, including straightaway center field, 405.
Got to get this big guy started. He's had a lot of opportunities to drive runs in lately. He still leads both leagues in runs batted in with 76. McGuire's starting to move up on him.
1 ball, 1 strike. Get ball 2. 2 and strike 1. He can gear up for this one if Johnson can get it over. Because nothing fancy, he said. He'll just try to blow it by you, and he did. Blow it by Phillips and Fryman. He threw him a curveball. 3-1 to Cecil. Pendleton would bat next if Cecil reaches base. It's ball 3 and strike 1. Randy Johnson delivers. Fine right down the middle. Makes it 3-2.
Good pitch for Cecil to swing and hit. Ball in the middle of the plate, and he likes the ball there, and so he can extend the arms.
Ball 3, strike 2. Strikes out the side here in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. There is no score.
Game time is no time for distractions, which is why we created the 7-Eleven Sports Stop, so you can get everything you need for the big game in one trip. Like a major league selection of beer and soft drinks from coolers maintained at 35 degrees cold. And every kind of snack food imaginable. Sure, other stores offer convenience, but 7-Eleven has everything a sports fan needs. Everything. Where the Sports Stop makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Now that interest rates are the lowest in years, for really smart business people, the timing couldn't be better to get a loan. And since First of America banks have over $1 billion to lend at low fixed rates, one of the smartest things you can do right now is talk to us about a loan. It's one way we know
you got it.
To help get the economy going again.
Okay, here's the batting lineup for the Seattle Mariners. Leading off and playing center field tonight, Henry Cotto. Batting second, Edgar Martinez, third base. The third batter, DH tonight, Ken Griffey Jr. Batting fourth, Kevin Mitchell in left field. The fifth batter, center field. Let's see how I got that. Right field, Brunner. Batting sixth at first base, Lance Parrish. Batting seventh, the catcher, Dave Bally. Batting eighth, Omar Vizquel, the shortstop. And batting ninth at second base, Harold Reynolds. Defensively for Detroit, brought to you by 7-Eleven in the outfield, Gladden, Pettis, and Carrion. Around the infield, Barnes, Fryman, Phillips, Fielder, Kruder behind the plate, and Frank Tanana on the mound for the Tigers. Frank 8-6, 39-year-old left-hander making his 20th appearance and 19th start of the season. He is the Major's third winningest active pitcher with 228 victories. Only Ryan and Burt Blyleven have more.
So it'll be Henry Cotter to lead it off. First time we've seen him in this series. Edgar Martinez will bat second, and Ken Griffey Jr., the designated hitter tonight, will bat third. And the first pitch from Tanana. It's a ball. 1 ball, no strike. Gets ready, and the 1-0 pitch. Ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes. They had the annual father-son-daughter game before the game tonight. There was no batting practice. Tigers came out late, and watch that contest. 3-0 to the leadoff man. Henry Cotter. That was a pretty good ball play for a fellow who's never really had a regular job, I don't guess, has he, Hal?
No, with the Yankees up and down a lot, got traded over here. He played a little bit the first year here, did very well.
He gets a walk. The leadoff man is on with a base on balls. And the batter will be Edgar Martinez.
Batting second, third baseman, number 11.
The ability to get Martinez out last night that helped the Tiger cause. He was 0 for 4, and he had some good chances.
The guy's a premier hitter. He's this is his third year now. He's hitting above the 300 mark. He's already equaled his high of 14 home runs, and that was set last year by Edgar.
Tigers at double play depth for the third baseman as Tanana goes to first base with it. Edgar Martinez was on the All-Star roster this year, and rightfully so. And the pitch. It's a strike. He started to bunt, pull the bat back, and the curve dropped in over the plate.
Kirby leads the league. 35. Edgar right there, 323. Carlos Baega, boy, has he been red hot for Cleveland. 321 along with the Alomar.
One strike to Martinez, and Tanana goes to first base again. Baega coming out of nowhere, just having a tremendous year for the Indians. Played in the All-Star game, had a double, batted in a run.
Cleveland, who beats up on Oakland, has not shown any favorites. They beat Minnesota yesterday, and it looks like a pretty good chance they're going to beat them again tonight. They're leading 5-2.
5-2 in the ninth. Kansas City leads Boston 8-0 in the ninth inning. If I'm reading the scoreboard right, why would Kansas City be batting in the bottom of the ninth, leading 8-0? That's the way it reads right now. There's a drive into center, hit well. Pettis back. He's going to catch it. Ball hit directly over his head, and you've told me many times that's a tough one.
Yeah, you can see the hand action of Pettis saying the ball really sunk down and away. That's the toughest ball for an outfielder to handle. The ball hit directly over your head. Pettis plays very shallow for a center fielder. He goes back on the ball much better than he comes in. Ball sinks on him now, and it really turns out to be an easy play, but the ball had topspin, overspin, and sunk down and away from Gary.
So there's one out, and the batter is Ken Griffey Jr. Ken is not playing tonight. He is the designated hitter. This fellow had a couple of doubles last night.
He's really been tearing lefties up this season, hitting the ball, basically pulling the ball, but as we well know, can hit the ball deep to left center field.
Strike to Griffey. This is a ball. Makes it 1-1.
And he's found very little trouble with Frank Tanana. He has 8 hits and 22 at-bats against him. That's at .364.
Runner at first, 1 out. We're in the first inning. And here's a long drive, and it's going to be out of here. Oh, he reached it. Back in right field. Some kind of a hitter.
Home run for the young Ken Griffey Jr. He leads the Mariners in that field. Also leads in RBIs. There's a fastball in the inner part of the plate. Very little movement at the plate. Just gets the head of the bat and hits in the mezzanine.
And the batter is Kevin Mitchell, who's playing in left field. Mitchell was listed first as the designated hitter and Griffey in center. Then there was a switch at the last moment. 1 strike to Mitchell. He had a big bases loaded hit last night that drove in a couple. Bounces this one to third. Skeeter Barnes picks it off. So Mitchell is out. second out of the inning, and it'll bring up Jay Buhner.
I think the next time you see Ken Griffey, that's the pitch he's going to throw to him. He's going to throw that sort of like a little blooper pitch to him.
Let him furnish all the power.
Yeah, because he's been unable to get him out consistently.
Jay Buhner has 15 home runs on the year and 48 runs batted in. Blue Jays are no strangers to the home run. They're third in the league in home runs with 96 now, I believe it is.
I think you're right. They have some power, obviously. There's the leaders. Detroit still leading. New York moving up. And, of course, Seattle. But Tigers are really not hitting the home run. Of course, with Rob Deere out, we're going to see fewer home runs than we're used to seeing.
Ball 2, no strikes to Buhner. On a strike. It's a 2-1. Sparky Anderson looks on. This one is low, ball 3. A ball 3 and a strike 1 count. Jay Buhner waits on the pitch from Tanana. Never did get there, and he came all the way around with his bat, and I think he hit Chad Cruder's mitt with his backswing. Let's see if he did. Right there. Sure.
Oh, on the knee.
Oh. Ball 3, strike 2. And he struck him out. Threw the fastball by him, and Buhner strikes out. 2-0 Seattle at the end of 1.
When redesigning the Ford Taurus wagon, we gave it the kind of shape that holds your attention. Available anti-lock brakes that hold on slick roads. And a newly restyled instrument panel that holds more than convenient controls. Available dual airbags, a Ford Motor Company exclusive in this class. Because we know Ford Taurus wagon will also be holding you.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
We've got a bit of an edge with the driver we have. We've got the best driver out there. So it's a matter of the mechanics just not overlooking anything. Al and I stay in constant communication during the race. I have to be aware of what he wants or needs, you know, at all times. I think the small details are is what makes the difference between winning and running second.
Around the corner, around the country, at work or play, we're on your way. The convenience stores of Speedway.
At Speedway, United, and Checker, you'll always save on quality gasolines for less, plus a whole lot more. And now get $5 in free gas. Pick up your free Passport to Savings booklet for details and special savings, like Gatorade Thirst Quencher in the new grape flavor, just $1.29, and all Hershey candy bars, 2 for 79 cents.
We're on your way. The convenience stores of Speedway.
Look to Channel 3 every Friday morning at 7:22 for a look to the lakeshore for weekend weather conditions and events. Brought to you by Tierra Yachts and Sport Boats and Eldine Boat Sales.
We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Serving all of West Michigan, this is Channel 3. We're West Michigan Television, WWMT.
Tigers in the second inning. Mickey Tettleton, Mark Carrion, and Skeeter Barnes will be the batters. Andy Johnson gave up a single in the first inning, but he struck out the side. He struck out Phillips, Fryman, and Fielder. And the switch-hitting Mickey Tettleton takes a strike, makes it 1-1. 20 home runs for Tettleton. Having another fine season. This one is low.
He's one of only 4 players in the major leagues with 20 or more home runs. He leads all the catchers in both leagues in home runs and runs batted in.
Ball 2 and strike 1. Ball 3. They appealed to first base to Dave Phillips, but no call. Ball 3, strike 1. Big Randy Johnson. The pop fly behind second that Harold Reynolds will handle. And Tettleton is out. Well, he's got to be throwing hard on a 3-1 pitch. He got right in on his fist.
Well, you can't muscle up on a guy like this. He throws so hard, you have to just depend on your quickness. You try to muscle up, the ball's going to be by you.
There's Mark Kerry on. To carry on, the Cubbies beat Cincinnati at home at Cincinnati tonight, 1-0. Cincinnati started play with a game-and-a-half lead over Atlanta, and they're tied with the Cardinals in St. Louis at 7-7. Atlanta led at one time 6-2. Pittsburgh winning in the bottom of the 8th in Houston, 3-0. Montreal beat the Giants. New York came from behind to beat the Dodgers 5-2. There's one hit hard to right field, and Buhner will catch it. He made it look easy on a line shot into right center. Out number 2.
Hits the ball hard. He uses his hands well, but Jay Buhner is a very fine outfielder, one of the best throwing outfielders in all of baseball. Makes it look easy.
And the batter is Skeeter Barnes, who's playing at third base tonight. Pitch is inside. Skeeter batted one time last night. Got into the game late.
Didn't take the bat off the shoulder.
No, he didn't. I forgot about that. He did not move his bat, and he was called out on 3 pitches. One strike. Skeeter Barnes, he plays everywhere. Wherever Sparky wants him. First base, third base, outfield. Designated hitter. He does a good job. Andy Johnson taking a little time. Ball 2 and strike 1. One high, ball 3. He hasn't walked anybody yet, and he can get wild and walk some people. This guy's a sort of a temperamental type. He's had some problems with his manager and his teammates over here with some of his statements. Skeeter helped him out. He was on first base. All very high in the strike zone.
In fact, the manager called him a quitter.
And made him apologize to his teammates, whom he had called quitters just earlier in the week. Here he is, Bill Plummer, the manager of the Seattle Ball Club.
Ready to wait a lot of pitching over here to try to get some more offense, and it's backfired on him.
Barnes strikes out on a fastball. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. It is 2-0 Seattle.
Oh, the treasures of an art museum, Jack. You'll eat it up. Look, Jack, impeccable taste. It gets you right here. Eagle Ranch, a miniature work of art in itself. Ah, the merely ordinary transposed into the extraordinary. Eagle Ranch. Not all ships are created eagle.
How smart is John Albers? As CEO of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up, he's pretty smart. And since his company is growing 3 times faster than the industry, he's very smart. But if you knew his company saves thousands in airfare by flying Southwest Airlines, you'd think he was a genius.
I just like low fares, even on my last-minute flights.
John Albers and Southwest Airlines, just plain smart.
Going to the comedy club. I hope you get a good seat. It was an inspired idea. So, who's going to be here anyway?
Yeah, Greg, did you call?
Why bother? This place always has the funniest guys.
Take my dog, please. If you're going to take my dog,
It's going to get better.
That's the deal.
Not tonight.
Oh, what is this, an audience or an oil painting? I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing. But seriously, folks.
Well, how well do you know your Tigers? Here's a chance for you to test your Tiger IQ, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. We've got a picture of a former Tiger, and we've covered up part of his face, as we normally do, so it wouldn't be too easy, and we want to see if you can name him. He was an outstanding defensive outfielder and a pretty good hitter, too, batting in the 280s and 90s for the Tigers during the 50s. And we're going to show you more of the picture a little later. And we'll see if Al can guess this one. He played in the 50s.
Yep. You played with him?
Yes, sir.
And then I played with him in the second turnaround with the Tigers.
Good ball player. Good ball player. Here's Lance Parrish. He's the leadoff man in the second inning.
Did not hit the left-handers very well in 91. He swings at a lot of bad pitches. Can hit to right, but his power is still left field.
Breaking ball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's had 4 home runs, career home runs against Frank Tanana.
We're in the second inning. Mariners 2 and the Tigers nothing. The pitch is inside to Lance. Note here, greeting from the Whitings, the Perkowskis from Richland, Michigan. Mike Tuller from Ida, Michigan. Says hello to everybody back home. Look out, he almost got a coach. And from Eaton Rapids, Michigan, Michael and Steve Mercer. Son and father, son Michael, father Steve Mercer from Eaton Rapids. Ball hit deep to third. Here's the long throw, and good pickup by Cecil. Skeeter was very deep, made a good throw. I thought maybe he was going to bounce it 1 hop.
That's exactly what I thought, and I said, uh-oh, he might have thrown it too far. Good play here, and of course he knows Lance is running. He can take a little bit more time and guns it over there, and Cecil makes the play.
That'll bring up Dave Valley. Dave Valley is doing the catching, and Parrish is playing at first base. It's both managers trying to get all the right-handed hitting into the lineup. They can, and to show you how it works, a left-hander has hit the home run in the game.
If you can hit, you can hit.
Yeah.
Sure, there might be an odd guy that gets you out, but it shouldn't make that much difference.
Ball 2, no strikes. Valley waiting on the 2-0 pitch from Tanana. It's a ball 3. Troy Hayes from Ithaca, Michigan. Out here with his dad to see the Tigers play. Troy Hayes from Ithaca. A lot of Tiger fans here tonight. Strike. Valley taking all the way. Bob Robinson is here from Grosse Pointe Shores. Ball 3, strike 1. And our strike makes it 3-2. I don't know what he was waiting on. Fastball inside part of the plate, and I think that would be exactly what Dave Valley would want. Now he might get the 3-2 curveball. Before he gets ready. There's the curve, and he's out on strikes. Dave Valley caught looking at a curveball. Second strikeout for Tanana, and he's going to protest a little bit, but it looked like a pretty good pitch, and I think he's arguing more about the other one than this one.
Pitch, and he doesn't like the pitch. He thinks it's low, and that's a strike. He caught it knee high. It was a breaking ball. You know it had to be high enough.
Sure was a strike.
I'll tell you what he said.
Yeah. Here's a fly ball down the line and left. It's going foul and out of play. So Kell pulls it foul. Was that his manager that came out?
Yes.
Well, he says, hey, I don't want you thrown out of the ball game. Not over. Well, he's still mad.
Yeah, and the umpire's coming over to give him a few words, too.
I'll tell you, they're going to meet at home plate in just a moment when this next out is made. I would imagine it will continue. One strike pitch to Kell, and he hits it in the air to left field. Gladden is there, puts it away. So an easy inning for Tanana. We played 2, and the Mariners lead it 2-0.
At 7-Eleven, we look at beer and soda differently. Take Bill Derflinger and Ed Mendez. We don't mind that they're doing a little reading on the job, because it takes guys like Ed and Bill, Bill's in the red shoes, to make sure our coolers are always maintained at 35 degrees. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference for those who want their beer and soda fast and cold. So if you open a cooler and see a couple of attractive guys like these, please don't whistle. It could throw them off. But 35 degrees makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Now that interest rates are the lowest in years, for really smart business people, the timing couldn't be better to get a loan. And since First of America banks have over $1 billion to lend at low fixed rates, one of the smartest things you can do right now is talk to us about a loan. It's one way we know
You got it.
to help get the economy going again.
How smart is John Albers? As CEO of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up, he's pretty smart. And since his company is growing 3 times faster than the industry, he's very smart. But if you knew his company saves thousands in airfare by flying Southwest Airlines, you'd think he was a genius.
I just like low fares, even on my last-minute flights.
John Albers and Southwest Airlines, just plain smart.
We're going to take a look at the American League East standings, brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Michigan as of start of play today. Toronto leading Baltimore by 3, Milwaukee 6.5, and Boston, the Yankees and the Tigers 11, 12, 13, Cleveland 18.5 behind. Minnesota got beat last night. Oakland lost, so there's nothing lost there. Minnesota gets beat again at home tonight by Cleveland, and the Yankees are beating up on Oakland again, 5-1 in the 3rd inning. This is Chad Critter. He's the leadoff man. Gary Pettis and then Tony Phillips. Tigers have only 1 hit and 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. You can see why, as he's throwing very hard.
Tigers are helping him out, too. They're going to have to try to gear themselves down to make the ball be down around the knees. If you swing at a ball waist high and up, you're not going to catch up with it. So you better set your sights down by the knees.
Swing all the way over the head of Valley and back to the stands. Mark Waldecker from Plymouth, Michigan, out here on an extended vacation, he said. What does that mean, long time?
Yeah, a few days.
Extended vacation.
We see a lot of people out here that are from Michigan that came out here and decided not to go back.
Yeah, stayed. Skeeter swings and misses. It's a beautiful place out here. But it's a long way from home.
All depends on where home is.
Yeah, I mean in Michigan. Yeah. Ball 2 and strike 2. We'll make it 3-2 to Chad Cooter. They get a lot of rain out here, but not a lot of rain. It rains every day, but they tell us they're still in a drought. But a little rain every day. Sprinkle. Oh, got him looking, and Chad Cooter is out on strikes. 5 strikeouts for Randy Johnson.
Right down in the wheelhouse. This is where you should be looking at. Actually, no, it's a little bit higher than you should be looking at, but right in the middle of the plate.
And the batter is Gary Pettis. He turns around and bats right-handed. We're in the 3rd inning at the Kingdome. Seattle 2 and the Tigers nothing. A 2-run homer by Ken Griffey Jr. in the 1st inning. It's been the difference. Pitch to Gary Pettis. We'll make it 2-0. 2 no strikes. Toronto's in California. No score in the 2nd inning. California beat Toronto last night at the Big A. All 2 strike 1.
Jack Morris pitching for Toronto. Nolan Ryan started for Texas.
They're tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Nolan had them 2-0 in the 7th, but they're tied 3-3 now. Tip right into the mid of Valley. Ball 2 and strike 2. Tigers have hit only 1 ball real hard. It was by Carry On. It was caught. Gladden had a single up the middle. Ground ball single out of the reach of this Kell. Strike 2 as Randy Johnson gets ready. Gary fouls it away. From Blissfield, Michigan, Tom and Lance Eisenman from Blissfield. There's the 2-2 pitch. On the ball 3 on a few batters, but he's walked nobody. Not yet, anyway. There's the payoff pitch. He fouled it away. From Williamston, Michigan, side of Lansing, Sandy Kaline. J-K-K-I-L-A. That's the way you pronounce it?
I'll say so.
Aquila. And the Reverend Robert Howell is here. He was in Milwaukee last time we were there. It walked him. Gary Pettis gets a walk. Well, the Tigers have their 2nd base runner of the game. Bob Howell from the Raisin Presbyterian Church in Palmyra and Holloway, Michigan. That's near Adrian. He's here with his sons and his mother, visiting in this area. Saw the game on TV in Detroit last night, and Palmyra, and he's out here tonight. Well,
is that one of the new owners?
I don't know, but
he's saying to himself, what have I got myself into?
It's not a boring game yet. Maybe he flew in today for the game. Tony Phillips struck out to start the game. He's batting with a runner at first base. 1 out in the 3rd inning. See what he's been doing on this trip. Very, very well. There goes the base runner. Throw to second and safe. A stolen base for Gary Pettis. Remember when Gary was here before, he did this a lot. He slid over the bag, and he did it again.
He starts to slide a little too late, and the momentum, well, he weighs about 100 pounds, it looks like, and he just keeps on going.
Now he has to hustle back to the bag before they put the tag on him. It's 1-1 to Tony Phillips. Strike one. Looking behind Phillips, you can see into the Mariner dugout. Like all dome stadiums, a dugout on ground level. Outside ball 3. Might better let this guy pitch a little bit. He might get wild. Here's the dugout, ground level, like it is in Minnesota and Toronto. You better be ready in that dugout. This one fairly close to the batter's box, and foul balls come flying in there. And he walked him. Second walk he's given up this inning as the Tigers are letting him pitch a little bit. 2 runners aboard with 1 out. He's going to bring the pitching coach to the mound. This fellow gets upset, they say, rather easily. An arrow behind him or something, a bad call, and they have to calm him down. Bill Plummer looking on.
Left fielder number 32, Dan Gladden.
Dan Gladden is the batter. He's had the only Tiger hit. He singled to center in the 1st inning with 1 out and stayed there as Fryman and Fielder struck out. With 2 runners aboard, 1 out. There's the curve outside. Hasn't been able to establish the curveball yet. Out the first batter this inning, Chad Cruder. He was called out on strikes, and Pettis walked, Stoll second, and Phillips walked. Strike to Gladden. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that's what you have to do. You know, the pitcher's not throwing many strikes, and you have to make him throw a strike. And taking a pitch until he does throw one, you'll be swinging now.
Seen it work. Rather awkward looking move towards second base, and maybe just roughing Pettis back. Here's a base hit into center. Pettis is headed for the plate, and the throw is not in time. It was a pretty good throw, but it hit the mound, and when it did, now what do you do about that? Throw it over the mound, try to...
Well, you try to throw it. You have to keep it low because you don't want the base runners to be advancing to the next base, and that's one of the hazards of playing center field, is that you throw a good throw, perfect throw, but it hits the mound, and it takes most of the speed off of it. You see there, it hits the side of the mound, takes a big hop. It'd been a much closer play had the ball been maybe 5 feet further.
2-1, the Mariners lead it, and the batter is Travis Fryman. Gets the curveball over to Fryman. He did the first time up. Getting 339 on the road and 240 at home, and you can't explain that. No way to explain it. Strike 2. Came right back with a fastball, and Travis is in a big hole. He's liable to see a few curveballs now, and he can't look for one. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Struck him out with a curve. Travis Fryman strikes out. 6 strikeouts tonight, and he'll leave it up to Cecil, who struck out his first time up.
Breaking ball down and in is a tough pitch to hit. You see Travis strides into the ball. It's very difficult to get your hands out in front. That was a good pitch by Johnson.
Tony Phillips is the runner at second base. Dan Gladden at first. Tigers have had 2 hits. They both belong to Gladden. With no trouble at all with Randy Johnson. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the tying run. And Gladden is at first base. Side to Cecil. Ball 2, no strikes. Cecil should get something good to hit right here. Rim a curve. And you can't look for that pitch.
Cecil questioning. He thought the pitch was high.
It's ball 2 and strike 1. 2. Got another curveball over. He's made a couple of good pitches on Cecil after falling behind 2-0.
What they call a backdoor pitch. Cecil might have a little argument there. Ball breaking around the plate.
Well, he laid off a tough pitch. The curveball coming down and in. Ball 3, strike 2. They'll be running. Phillips from second, Gladden from first.
You haven't seen Cecil hit a long one in a long, long time.
See what happens on the 3-2 pitch. Struck him out, maybe on a bad pitch. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-1 Seattle.
Without you, they'd never make it down this mountain. Horses don't show much appreciation, but a job well done still has its rewards.
Maybe it's the water, or something in the air that gives people here that thing we call common sense. You can see it in their faces, and the things they do, like going to 76 for their gasoline. It's the same quality the winners at NASCAR depend on. And people figure if it can satisfy the demands of racing, think what it can do for their cars. And that makes sense, which around here comes as no surprise. 76, go with the spirit.
How smart is John Albers? As CEO of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up, he's pretty smart. And since his company is growing 3 times faster than the industry, he's very smart. But if you knew his company saves thousands in airfare by flying Southwest Airlines, you'd think he was a genius.
I just like low fares, even on my last-minute flights.
John Albers and Southwest Airlines, just plain smart.
Here's our upcoming TV schedule. This Thursday night, we're going to be at the Big A in Anaheim, 10:30 starting time, Michigan time. Then Texas will be our next telecast, Friday, August 14th at 8 o'clock, Saturday, August 15th. And it's a long time, July 23rd to the 14th and 15th in Texas. Get a couple of night games down there. Won't be too hot.
No, won't be too bad at all.
95, maybe, instead of 105. Here's Frank Tanana. He's given up a home run to Ken Griffey Jr. It's been the only hit he's allowed, but he had a runner on base, and they lead the Tigers 2-1. And a strike to Harold Reynolds. Ken Griffey Jr. is the only left-handed hitter in either lineup tonight. He's done all the damage. Which is in tight to Harold Reynolds. Strike. This one inside, ball 2. Well, this fellow's been a good ball player out here, Al, for a long time.
Well, he is so well liked in the community. Does a lot of great charity work. Really good guy.
The 2-1 pitch. He hits foul down the left field line. Two and strike 2 to the leadoff man. Henry Cotta will bat next, and then Martinez. Edgar Martinez. You have a couple of Martinez that can throw at you. Edgar, the third baseman, and Tino, the first baseman and designated hitter. Ball hit to third base. Skeeter Barnes rifles it over there, and he just does get him. Now Skeeter Barnes played that so he could get his body in full motion with the throw. He knew he was going to have to hurry. Watch this now as he reaches out, and he's ready to go right there.
He's got his body already turned. And Cecil is getting the glove, and he gets it out of the way in a hurry because he doesn't want the base runner to run into his hand like he did earlier and hurt his wrist.
Good play by Skeeter Barnes. 1 out, and the batter is Henry Cotta, who walked and scored a run in the first inning. No strikes. Ooh, he is hit on the foot. Slow curveball. It just kept coming in, and Cotta didn't make a big effort to get out of the way, but I don't think he wanted to be hit either.
Third baseman, number 11,
Caught him right on the back foot, as you can see. So he's at first base with 1 out, and the batter will be Edgar Martinez. Edgar hit one deep into center. Gary Pettis caught it in the first inning. He's hitting .324 against the Tigers, as you can see, 11 for 34. They got him out last night in a couple of key spots. And when he's batting in front of Griffey and Mitchell, you need to get him out. almost had him going. Cotto had taken a step towards second, but recovers and gets back in time. Pittsburgh and Houston are tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 10th inning. Atlanta and St. Louis are tied 7-7 in the bottom of the 9th in St. Louis. You can see the scoreboard, and you can see that Cincinnati lost tonight to Chicago 1-0. To Martinez and a strike. Scola has 15 hits in his last 39 times at bat. Big sweeping curveball that didn't get there. And a strike two to Martinez.
Keep a close watch for Cotto. He's their best base stealer. He has 10 and has only been thrown out one time.
He's got that foot on the carpet, which indicates he's going. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and they do. Boy, Cecil makes that throw so well down there for a right-handed first baseman. He just laid it right in the lap for Travis Fryman to put the tag on. Watch this now. It's not an easy throw with the guy running.
What you worry about is hitting the base runner in the back.
Yes. I think if you watch Cecil, we might see it again. He takes a step toward home plate, just a little hop skip, and throws from the side. Pitches high to Martinez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tanana is ready. Almost an Ephus pitch.
This might be the setup pitch for the fastball inside.
Brain Trust, Billy Muffet, Sparky, Dick Trzeski, and Gene Rook, all sitting together. Off the glove of Tanana. Oh, he throws it wild, but there'll be no advance. Frank did everything he could, and Frank wound up in right field. Hit right on the end of the bat, I think, Al.
Yeah, the ball not hit this hard. Franks thought it was hit a lot harder. You see, he overreached for the ball, hit him on the wrist. And if he had got it on the first bounce, he would have had a chance, but he got it on the second bounce and threw it wild to first base. Scored a base hit.
Well, a single for Martinez. He's there with 2 outs. And the batter will be Griffey Jr., who had a home run, a 2-run homer in the first inning. He hit the home run off a fastball. This one is outside.
Pretty good. Frank Tanana, tough to hit off the left-handers. Batting .391 against Frank.
It's the curveball, and it makes it 2-0. Ball 2, no strikes. Frank gets ready. The 2-0 pitch is a curve, and it's in for a strike. Just a reminder that coming up later will be our Bud Batter's Box home run inning. And if your name has been selected and a Tiger hits a home run, you're going to win $100 and a share of a $10,000 bonus at the end of the year. Missed on the outside. Ball 3, strike 1. Kevin Mitchell is on deck. It's pretty tough to pitch around the left-handed hitting Griffey with this big fellow coming up next, Mitchell. There's the curve. 3-2 to Griffey. I don't think he's going to get a fastball to hit.
There's that Ephus pitch I was talking about, the real slow curveball.
And he might get another one. Ball 3, strike 2. Martinez will be running on the pitch. Fly ball into shallow center. This ball is going to be caught by Pettis. Hit it on the end of the bat and broke his bat. We've played 3, Seattle 2, and the Tigers 1.
Breakfast time at Nagel's Top Dog, and we're now open for Sunday breakfast too. 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Nagel's Top Dog, Burdick and Crosstown, Kalamazoo.
We've got a bit of an edge with the driver we have. We've got the best driver out there. So it's a matter of the mechanics just not overlooking anything. Al and I stay in constant communication during the race. I have to be aware of what he wants or needs, you know, at all times. I think the small details are is what makes the difference between winning and running second.
Once you pop, you can't stop. Pringles introduces 2 new fresh ways to pop. There's the cute little snack stack when you want to pop a little. And there's the big double stack when you want to pop a lot. Unlike bag chips, we're vacuum packed to lock in freshness. So get the only vacuum packed chip in the world, Pringles.
Once you pop, 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 you can't stop.
Now in snack stacks and double stacks.
Now this is the tale of a special sale for folks like you and me.
It's half price week at Rogers. Many end-of-season summer fashions are priced at 1/2 off. Others are 30 to 60% off. Choose from famous name brands for ladies, men, and kids. Half price week through Saturday at Rogers Department Store.
End of season fashions for the ladies, kids, and men. But hurry, Rogers summer sale is quickly going to end.
Well, you youngsters will want to be at the ballpark on Thursday, July the 30th, when the Tigers host the Chicago White Sox. And prior to the 1:35 game, the first 5,000 youngsters in attendance will be allowed onto the field to receive baseball instructions from Tiger players and coaches. And for tickets, you can call 963-7300. Here's Mickey Tettleton to lead it off in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 1, and he fouls it back. We talk about late rally. Baltimore had a 7-2 lead over Chicago, and the White Sox scored 8 times in the last couple of innings, and they win at 10-7 in Chicago over Baltimore. Strike 2. And in the 10th inning in Milwaukee, Texas scored 3 times. They lead 6-3. Milwaukee batting in the bottom of the 10th. The 2-strike pitch. Top of everybody. Jeff Kent just hit a 3-run homer for the Blue Jays. And they lead 3-0 in Anaheim.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't a left-handed batter up there. That got him right in the coconut.
I don't know. It had to be a tall guy.
Yeah.
He threw it well over his head. One ball, 2 strikes to Tettleton. Mickey battles an inside fastball, fouls it away. Important ball games in the National League. Atlanta and St. Louis tied 7-7 in the 10th, and Pittsburgh and Houston 3-3 in the 11th. There's a long fly ball, well hit. Deep left center field. It's going to be out of here for a home run. Mickey Tettleton has just tied this ball game with his 21st home run of the year. He got every bit of that one.
That little redhead had something to do with that.
Home run number 21, a little bit out over the middle of the plate. And Mickey thinks, hey, I got a pretty good piece of this one. He's been hitting a lot of long fly balls and getting caught on the warning track. This time, way back up in left center field.
Mark Kerry takes a pitch outside. Mark hit the ball hard, a line drive to right center that was caught his first time up, and a curve in for a strike. Good piece of hitting by Tettleton, who was down strike 2 at first. This one is low, and it's ball 2 and strike 1. Doug Hargett is in Seattle for the summer. Says, say hello to all my friends in Michigan. All over the state of Michigan.
Well, when the Tigers hit a home run in a game, they're 37 and 26. And when they fail to hit a homer, wow, 7 and 24.
Carry on, swings at a breaking ball and strikes out. It's the first out of the inning as we look at it again.
Breaking ball down and in. Again, you have to be looking for the fastball. And even though it's not a great pitch, it's slow enough where you really throw your timing off.
Skeeter Barnes, the batter. Skeeter's 0 for 1. One ball, no strikes. Swimming at 1-1. Skeeter Barnes has made 21 starts, 3 at first base, 16 at third base, and 1 as the designated hitter. He bunts, but it's right back to the mound. Trying to push it by him. The pitch was inside, and he couldn't get the bat out there to push it by Johnson. Skeeter Barnes is out, second out of the inning. The batter will be Chad Cruder. We're in the 4th inning at the King Dome in Seattle. Tied at 2 runs apiece. Tigers have battled back after going down 2-0 in the first inning. So strike to Cruder. A 1-strike pitch. Good curveball. Randy Johnson has gone to the whip. Strike 2 to the Tiger catcher. Swung at it. We get the call from the first base umpire. 9 strikeouts tonight. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 2.
On your marks. Set.
Bud Summer Games. It could be the experience of a lifetime.
How can you tell if something's high quality?
Well, you can squeeze it, sniff it, thump it, or bump it. But if you can't pump it, it's not a ballpark, Frank.
Ballpark Beef Franks are the high-quality hot dogs that plump when you cook them because they're always made with fresh, lean, 100% beef.
So go ahead and peel it, weigh it, press it, and caress it. But if you can't pump it, it's not a ballpark, Frank.
They plump when you cook them.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Captain X. Killing those grungy fungi before they get racket and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desert X.
games. It could be the experience of a lifetime.
Well, the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association annual golf outing will take place on Monday, September 14th at the Bloomfield Hills Country Club. Now, the Scramble format tournament is open to men and women with a former Major League player or celebrity joining each foursome. Proceeds from the event will be shared with Sparky Anderson's Catch charity. And for more information, you can call the Catch office during normal business hours at 313-876-9399. Kevin Mitchell, he's the leadoff man here in the fourth inning. Old curve is in for a strike. Rose and Steve from Alpena, Michigan. The ballpark tonight. Rose and Steve. Pitch to Kevin, outside. He's 0 for 1. He bounced to Barnes at third base his first time up. The fella has 5 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Right down the middle. It's been a bit of a disappointment. They gave up a lot of pitching to get Mitchell. They thought he'd have 5 home runs the first week of the season in this ballpark.
This small ballpark, they said, hey, he hit 47 one year at a tough ballpark in San Francisco.
Count is even at 2-2. Mr. Plummer, the manager of the Seattle club. 2-2 pitch to Mitchell. Foul tipped it and stays alive. Tigers have 2 runs on 3 hits. The Mariners 2 runs on 2 hits. Another fine effort by this fan. Frank Tanana. Pitch to Mitchell. It's high ball 3. 4 of his 5 home runs have come against left-handed pitching. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He's out. Mitchell is caught looking, and he's called out on strikes. Third strikeout tonight for Tanana as we look at that pitch.
Frank really effective, although he doesn't throw hard. He throws so many off-speed pitches. That ball on the inner part of the plate really gets by the hitters before they know it. Just don't look for that pitch off of Frank.
Jay Buhner struck out his first time up. Three home runs, 10 runs batted in against the Tigers this year. One ball, one strike. This fella came up to the Yankee system. Was traded to the Mariners. On a strike. Seen double clutch on the slow curveball. Makes it 1-2.
Well, it's almost like Frank is reading your mind at the plate. He watches and see how the hitters react on the pitch before. He remembers how he got him out to pitch the time before.
Ball 2 and strike 2. Here's the key pitch for Tanana. Drive into the corner. This will be extra bases for Buhner, who heads for second. And he goes in with an easy double.
First baseman, number 3,
pretty good pitch, a breaking ball that was down in the strike zone. He was going to right field all the way on Frank. And you play the big guy around the pole, and just no chance to make the play.
The batter is Parrish. Lance grounded to third base, his first time up. One ball, no strike. The hits are even at 3, and the runs are even at 2. Lance Parrish waiting on the 1-0 pitch. Look at 2-0. He's had 4 home runs in his career against Tanana.
Lance spent 9.5 years with the Tigers, big favorite there, and one of the class guys. He opted to go free agent, sign with the Phillies.
3. Ball 3, no strikes to Parrish. They might turn him loose on the 3-0 pitch. Tanana elects to go right at him. Nope, they're going to walk it. They're going to give him a chance to hit the 3-0 pitch. First and second. That's Mickey Tettleton looking on. It's about as much talking as you'll ever see Mickey Tettleton do right there. Doesn't say much. Dave Valley was called out on strikes his first time up. He had a rather heated discussion with Terry Kraft to no avail. There's a strike. They can double up this big fella. Hits the ball hard, does not run that well, and it's the Tiger hopes right now. Everybody back on the infield. One ball, one strike. He's hit well against the Tigers. 7 career home runs. Base runner Buhner at second, and Parrish at first base. 1-1 pitch to Dave Valley. Swinging at the curveball before he gets there. 1-2. Two strikes. Valley's not at all sure what he's going to get right here. I'm not either. Curveball that hangs high. Makes it 2-2. Aboard with only 1 out here in the 4th inning. Tanana trying to get something hit on the ground at somebody. Missed on the inside, and it's 3-2. They may have him running here. Chad Cooter's got to make up his mind. If he strikes out, do I go to third or second with it? Muffet looking on. Ball 3, strike 2, and Tony Phillips bluffing the runner back at second base. pitch. They're running. Bouncer to third base. Valley is out. The runners move up to second and third for Vizquel.
Cecil Fielder thought there was 3 outs, and fortunately he only tossed the ball lightly to Phillips. Take a look at it again. He had to lay back. The runners were going. The throw is low, and we stay with it for a while. Cecil thinks it's 3 outs, and he tosses the ball to the first base umpire. Of course, there's only 2 outs.
Cecil says it's embarrassing, but it could be worse. Nobody moved up. It's happened to every ball player that's ever played the game. I've trotted off the field with 2 outs.
You lose sight sometimes. Long innings, you may be thinking about striking out the time before or missing a ball, and you lose your concentration.
Omar Vizquel, he was ready to bunt, and he takes a strike. It happened to the great DiMaggio one time, Al, when I was on second, a fly ball to center and deep center, and I tagged up to go to third, and when I was nearing third, Dick Bartell started waving me home. I kept running, and DiMaggio was trotting in.
I saw it happen to the great Mickey Mantle.
Well, it happens. You lose track. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Bouncer hit slowly to third, but foul. Tanana says, I want that ball. And the third base coach says, no, I'll throw it out of the game.
Russ Nixon.
Yeah, saw Russ before the ball game in the clubhouse.
That's why it's important for the infielders to make those plays.
Yeah, Frank wanted that ball.
And now he's got a new one. It may not feel quite the same in his hand. The stitches may be a little smaller. Might feel a little bit bigger in his hand.
He might have got away with it if he had not ran over there appealing for the ball. That alerted Nixon to the fact that he did want it. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Boy, nice play by Kruder. Nice play that saved a run. Kell danced out of the way, and Kruder blocked it nicely. This. His view is blocked, but he stays with it. Frank says, I had 2 strikes on him. I sure don't want a wild pitcher run in here. It's a ball and 2 strikes for the switch-hitting shortstop. This is going to be a big out if Frank can get it. Started with Mitchell was called out on strikes. Jay Buhner double, Parrish walk. Valley bounced to third, and the runners moved up. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes to Vizquel. A tie ball game in the 4th inning. And the pitch.
I hate to see slow breaking balls to a punch hitter. So they're not going to be taking a big swing with 2 strikes. The guy that punches the ball all over.
He's hit a couple of bullets down the third base line on slow curveballs. What Frank elects to do here. Ball 2 and strike 2. I think he'd rather pitch to this guy than Harold Reynolds. We'll see. Struck him out. He changed up on him, and Vizquel strikes out. Big strikeout, big out for Tanana. We're tied at 2 at the end of
4. No relays were run here. Not one high dive ever took place. No decathlon either. But the spirit of the U.S. Olympic team lives right here. That's why we are proud to help send our athletes to Barcelona. And especially proud to bring the games home. We're Budweiser. part of the genuine spirit that is the Olympic Games.
You take me back to that feeling.
Remember that great feeling of rolling down the road knowing your car is safe and running right? Your professional automotive technician wants you to keep that great feeling. That's why more and more of America's top professionals are installing top-quality CarQuest parts. You depend on them to fix your car right the first time, and they depend on CarQuest for their parts.
And CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
How can you tell if something's high quality?
Well, you can squeeze it, sniff it, thump it, or bump it, but if you can't pump it, it's not a ballpark, Frank.
Ballpark Beef Franks are the high-quality hot dogs that plump when you cook them, because they're always made with fresh, lean, 100% beef.
So go ahead and peel it, weigh it, press it, and caress it, but if you can't pump it, it's not a ballpark, Frank.
They plump when you cook them.
Well, two totally different pitchers in style here tonight, but the results are the same.
Pretty much what we expected from these guys. Frank Tanana's been pitching great baseball the last 6, 7, 8 times out. And, of course, Randy Johnson seems like he always pitches well against the Tigers. Always has a lot of strikeouts. You know, 17 times in his career, he struck out over 10 men, and his career high is 12, and he's done that twice. So he has a pretty good chance of at least tying the 12.
He sure does. He has struck out 9 here in the first 4 innings tonight. Tigers battle back. They were down 2-0. Now we're tied at 2 as the Tigers bat in the 5th inning. Very young Mariner fans on hand here tonight. This is Gary Pettis. He walked and scored the first Tiger run. Johnson delivers low. The battle still goes on in Houston. They're in the bottom of the 12th, and Houston just scored a run in the bottom of the 12th, and they beat Pittsburgh 4-3. In the bottom of the 11th in St. Louis, tied at 7. Atlanta and St. Louis. Everything else in the National League is posted on the board. So ball 2 and a strike 1 count to Pettis. Tigers would like to put this speedy center fielder on base.
Gary, 34 years old. He probably doesn't run as well as Milt Kyler, but he's so much better base stealer, base runner.
There's a fly ball down the line. This may be some trouble, and it bounces over the head of Buhner, but he may get him. He does. Oh, he's safe. Buhner made a whale of a play. It bounced over his head. He had to reach back and get it, and he throws as well as anybody.
I tell you what, and he's accurate, which is really more impressive than having a great arm.
Look at
the high bounce. Now he's got to turn without knowing where he's at and makes a great throw, and I'm not so sure he's not out.
Well,
Rocky said they tagged him high, and I tell you what, I think he made a good call.
He had the ball in time, but you're right. I don't know.
Well, he couldn't tell from that angle. But Jay Buhner made an excellent throw, a tough play for a right fielder to go and with his back towards second base and make it and throw a strike.
A 2-base hit for Pettis, and the pitch to Phillips is outside.
I'll tell you what, if they don't hold him on, he might go on to third base because he can get a big jump. And the shortstop's got to hold him on because they know Tony Phillips, who is a team player, will be trying to shoot the ball to right field.
This one is high, and Valley made a good play to pull it in. He almost threw it over his head. Ball 2, no strikes. Now let's take another look at the play at second base.
It was close. That's all I can say. Rocky's right on it.
Tony might have helped him out on a 2-0 pitch. Ball 2, strike 1. The go-ahead run is at second base with nobody out. See what Johnson's trying to do here, pitch him in tight, and he's, like you said early, he can't
do it. He has to aim for the middle of the plate, and he knows that Tony's going to try to shoot the ball to right field, and he just can't hit the corners. He might do it by accident, but he just tries to throw it for the middle of the plate.
Runner at second, Pettis, 3-1 pitch to Tony Phillips. And he walked him. That's what he was trying to do, trying to keep it in tight so he couldn't hit it to right field, and he walked him. Third walk given up by Johnson.
They're going to discuss now what they think the Tigers are going to do. Of course, Dan can do a lot of things. He's a good bunter. And if he is going to bunt, he's going to have to try to bunt the ball down third base.
Frank Tanana looks on. He says, "Get me a couple of runs, gang."
Another thing that could happen right here, and it's very tough on the base runner at second base, if Dan does try an attempted bunt, and he bunts through the ball, usually that man on second base is leaning towards third, and a lot of times they get picked off. Valley, an excellent throwing catcher.
He's had a couple of hits tonight. He singled in the first Tiger run. No bunt in mind with that one. He had a good swing at a fastball. Strike to Gladden. You don't like to bunt to first base if he's going to bunt, but Parrish is at first, not likely to throw to third. He's given no indication he's going to bunt at all. One ball, one strike. Open the inning with a double. Phillips walked. The 1-1 pitch to Gladden. Make it ball 2. He should get a good pitch to hit here, a fastball, because he hasn't been able to get the curve over that much. He doesn't want to fall behind 3-1 to Gladden. Well, you would expect a power pitch. Helped him out a little bit.
It helped him out a lot. Ball almost hit him.
Dan Gladden was expecting a power pitch, and he says, "I'm going to get in front of it." It's ball 2 and strike 2. Ball 3. 3-2 to Gladden. You want to run him, Coach?
He can run him with Gladden up there. Generally puts the ball in play. Usually doesn't swing hard at the pitch for 2 strikes.
And Tigers have some speed out there. Pettis, Phillips, and they're playing behind Phillips, so he'll get a good jump.
I think he swung at another bad pitch. Of course, you know, when the ball's coming up there 92, 93 miles an hour, you don't have very long to react. You have to make up your mind in a hurry.
You're being very generous, too. I think he might be throwing harder than 92.
Yeah, he could very well be.
He is throwing very hard. Ball 3, strike 2. Ground ball towards second. Good piece of hitting by Gladden. Going to the opposite field. Moves the runners up. They go to second and third for Travis Fryman.
Shortstop, Travis Fryman.
Hasn't had much luck with this big, tall left-hander. Struck out in the first and again in the third inning.
Tell you what, I wouldn't pitch to him. I'd pitch to Cecil. He's had great success against Randy. A couple home runs. But they know that Cecil's up next.
They're playing back at short and second. Surprising. No swing. They check right here with the first base umpire. He wanted to get that curveball over the first curve. That's the way he's been handling Travis. Gets ahead of him with the curve. And he gets 2 strikes on him, and he can throw him a lot of curveballs. Here's a base hit into left. Going to get 1 run in, and they're going to hold the runner at third base. Ooh, he threw him 1 too many fastballs.
You can't keep throwing Travis fastball. And if he swings the strikes, he's going to hit anybody's fastball.
Well, he rocked this one into left field, just like a rocket.
Goes in with a fastball right in the middle of the plate. Travis, so quick, uses his hands real well. It doesn't use a lot of body. You see a lot of hitters, they'll take the big swing, they take the big stride, and consequently it makes their swing real long. But Travis uses his hands real well.
Nelson throwing in the bullpen. And Cecil the batter, and a good stop by Valley.
And you get a look at Cecil's swing. Cecil's more of a body swinger. He takes a big stride. He has a lot of movement with his arms before the pitch is delivered, and he has a longer swing than Travis Fryman. That's why he has trouble with a good fastball.
It's a breaking ball inside, ball 2. Cecil's got to put the ball in play, preferably to the outfield. That's a big run at third base in the person of Tony Phillips. Fryman is on at first base. Ball 2, no strikes. Ball 3. He's had Valley dancing all over the place. Oh, to Cecil. They might let him swing at this 3-0 pitch. And he walked. The Cecil fielder gets a walk. The bases are loaded for Mickey Tettleton. And we'll have another conference at the mound. Worthy is the pitching coach, Plummer the manager, and I think Plummer makes the pitching changes. Tells you how tall that fellow is. Valley's a big man.
Yes, he is.
He's a big man. And he's got to look up to talk to Randy Johnson. Here's the manager. Mickey Tettleton had a home run his last time up. That tied the ball game, and he'll bat now with the bases loaded, 1 out. Got a double, single, 2 walks this inning, and a run is scored. Pitch is high to Tettleton. One ball, no strikes. He had a good pitch to hit. Tony Phillips, the runner at third base. Travis Fryman. And Cecil Fielder. It's the base runners for the Tigers. 1 ball, 1 strike. I get 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got to put the ball in play, Mickey. This is not the time to strike out. Got to put it in play. Hope you can get it through the infield someplace.
curveball off. Ball breaking down and in, and I think he got a piece of it. 3-2, the Tigers lead it. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Tigers with a chance to do some big damage. Bases loaded, 1 out. Get the curveball over to Tettleton, I would think. It's the fastball, and all of a sudden he is extremely high with the fastball. Ball 2 and strike 2. Look out! Ooh.
Shoulder, chest.
Hamilton got a fastball and got out in front of it. Yeah, he's going to be all right, he said, but not funny. I think his wife's doing the crying. It's a hard way to get a souvenir baseball. More shook up than he is. We're ready for the 2-2 pitch. And this is out of play. Fouls it back into the crowd. Well, a real battle between Randy Johnson and Mickey Tettleton. Bases loaded, 1 out. And it's ball 2 and strike 2. Could go to 3-2 and get even more dramatic.
Throwing him a couple of breaking balls in a row, and it'd be tough for Mickey to time the fastball.
He got a fastball.
He sure did.
That young lady catch that ball? No. I thought she did. Good time at bat for Tettleton. He has fought off some good pitches, stayed alive. We try it again. This is going to be foul. Well, the Tigers would have loved to have that one fair. It would have gotten a run in. Mitchell is the left fielder. He does not throw well, and the ball was not hit that deep, but deep enough for Phillips to score, but foul by plenty. And still ball 2 and strike 2.
It's been a great at bat for Mickey Tettleton, who was considered by most baseball people a much better hitter from the left side, but he's really battled this hard-throwing left-hander.
And he has a home run tonight, batting from the right side against Johnson. Sparky. 2-2 pitch. He got him. I think Tettleton knew it. Boy, you got to give Johnson credit. He threw about 5 straight strikes to Tettleton, and normally he doesn't throw that many strikes in a row. Finally threw him a curveball and got it over.
Little backdoor curveball. Mickey gave up on it, and the ball kept breaking, and right on the outer part of the plate.
Mark Kerry will be the batter with the bases loaded, 2 outs. And the pitch is low to Kerry.
Mark really struggling, 0 for 8 on this trip. And 5 for 33 in the month of July. Really has struggled.
We'll make it ball 2. He's got to throw him a strike. He has no place to put him.
Well, Sparky doesn't like to take the bat out of the hitter's hands, but the way Mark has been swinging in the month of July, you almost have to make him take a strike.
We'll see what happens. Ball 2, no strikes. And he does take a strike. Johnson able to get it over. Ball 2, strike 1. He hit the ball hard. His first time up, it was caught in right field. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Evens the count at 2-2. Johnson has struck out 10 batters tonight. He'd like to make carry on number 11. He's getting a lot of support from the people in attendance here tonight. Bouncer to third base. And he gets away from Martinez. It's going to score 2, and to second goes Carry On. You don't see that happen very often. Not Martinez.
I think he was in between whether or not to lay back or get it on the short hop. Also, it might have hit the edge of the AstroTurf where the dirt comes. We'll take a look at it again. In between right here, he doesn't know whether to come in or not. And it hits the edge of the AstroTurf. I think that's what made the ball take the big hop.
Error charged against Martinez. 2-run score. And the batter is Skeeter Barnes. Carry On went all the way to second. The Tigers now lead it 5-2. Skeeter Barnes could put some icing on the cake. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cecil is the runner at third. Carry On's at second with 2 outs. We'll make it ball 2. Ball 2 and strike 1. Skeeter Barnes is the 8th Tiger batter here in the 5th inning. Tigers have scored 3. Breaking a 2-2 tie, and they lead it 5-2. The bunt, and it's a little bit too hard, I think. No, he's safe. Martinez played it as well as you could, but Barnes beat it out for an infield single. Cecil scores, and the Tigers lead it 6-2.
Well, you never know what to expect when Skeeter Barnes in the ball game. The ball's bunted a little hard, but Skeeter had a running start out of the batter's box and able to beat the throw to first base. It's an RBI, base hit, and RBI. Cecil, with that blazing speed, comes across home plate.
Really wasn't any doubt about it. Skeeter beat it out rather easily. 6-2, the Tigers lead it. Chad Kreuter will bat, the 9th batter this inning. Chad's been to the plate twice tonight, and he struck out both times.
Good to have you back, Kerry.
Like he was trying to hit the right, and he should right now. Got a big hole between first and second. Johnson throwing very hard, and on this artificial surface, it'll shoot through that infield rather easily.
Facing someone who throws as hard as Johnson, you must keep your hands above the ball when you swing. If you dip the back shoulder and try to uppercut, the ball will get by you. But if you keep your hands above the ball when you swing, more of a level swing, even to the point where you're swinging down, you might be able to catch up with his fastball.
The one-strike pitch to Kruder. Strike 2. Ooh, he took a good pitch then. See the scoreboard. Tigers putting 4 on the board here in the 5th and still batting. Ball, 2 strikes. Tigers have had 3 hits this inning. A couple of walks and a big Seattle error on a ground ball off the bat of Kerry on. Strikes out. What a big inning for the Tigers. We go into the bottom of the 5th. 6-2, the Tigers lead it.
It's the first week of spring training, and a bunch of nice old ladies show up.
Say cheese. Wonderful.
Nice, until we started working out.
You call that exercising?
Hey, Grandma, I don't see you doing it.
We finished? In your dreams, homeboy.
Finally, cold buds for everybody.
Attaboy.
Michigan Bob is not a large company, so Blue Cross taking care of my insurance benefits for my employees saves me time. I don't want to have a person devoted full-time to filling out claim forms and having to explain to people day after day, yes, this is your coverage for that, having to get on the phone, call the carrier and say, why didn't you pay this, why didn't you pay that? We don't have to do that with Blue Cross. What they're taking care of with the employee, I don't have to work on.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. A dream I move, a dream I groove.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like
Services provided by Crowley's. If you haven't been to Crowley's lately, just look at what you're missing. The secret's out. Crowley's is in.
Here come the Mariners in the 5th inning. Harold Reynolds will lead it off. Henry Cotta and then Edgar Martinez. California spotted Toronto 3 on a 3-run homer. They have bounced back against Jack Morris and lead it 5-3 at the end of 5. Yankees still lead Oakland 5-1. They're in the top of the 8th inning in Oakland. Reynolds is 0 for 1. He bounced to third base his first time out. Like this Kell, he's a switch hitter. Hit in 7 straight games. Pitch from Tanana. Fly ball into center. Gary Pettis will put it away. So Reynolds is out. 1 out in the 5th inning. We'll bring up Henry Cotta. He's been on base twice tonight. He walked, scored a run in the 1st inning, was hit by a pitch ball in the 3rd inning. Both Mariner runs came in the 1st inning. A walk to Cotta and a 2-run homer by Ken Griffey Jr. She's outside. Tanana gets ready, and the 1-0 pitch. Pops it up right at the plate. Skeeter Barnes will take it. Much easier play for Skeeter Barnes than for the catcher. Skeeter comes on to pull it in. There's 2 outs, and the batter will be Martinez.
Third baseman, Edgar Martinez.
Martinez, the batter, with 2 outs and nobody on. It's a very important inning for Frank. We've said this, Al, many times before. You get some runs, take the lead, don't let them come back at you.
Yep, it happens so many times, and it's really important for the momentum of the game to shut the other team down. After your team scores a bunch of runs, it puts you ahead.
1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez has flied to center and singled tonight. Outside with a breaking ball. Ken Griffey Jr. bats next, and that's a major reason why you'd like to get Martinez out. Let Griffey lead off in the 6th inning. But he will not. There's a base hit into right center. It's going to be all the way to the fence, and a double for Martinez, who's going to hold at second base.
Going to keep that guy down very long. The Tigers have been lucky in the first game to shut him down, but he gets his second hit here. A little fastball up and out over the plate. One of the few pitches that Frank has really missed with in this ball game.
Griffey had a 2-run homer, and then he flied to shallow center his second time up. Didn't have a very good swing at the sidearm curveball. I don't know what the young man's thinking. That's only 1 strike. It in the dirt. Frank is reaching into his bag of tricks, and he's got a lot of tricks in there, pulling all the stops out to try to get Griffey out.
The Griffeys became the first father and son to ever play on the same team together.
One is foul. I think Frank likes the way he swings at that sidearm curveball, and that might be the pattern. He wouldn't dare try to surprise him, would he, with a fastball?
Well, it may surprise him, but I'd be very careful with it. He has a very quick bat, and it's pretty hard to throw the same pitch 3-4 times in a row, though.
You never know what Frank's going to do, and he might try to gun a fastball by him here. He's got Griffey looking for everything in the world. He did, and I'm telling you, it was close. He threw him a sidearm fastball, and it was very close. Let's see where this pitch is. It could have been called out right here. I think he was out. Ball 2 and strike 2. He pops it up. Skeeter Barnes will handle it outside of third, and the inning is over. He went right back to the sidearm curve, and he gets Ken Griffey. We've played 5, and the Tigers lead it 6-2.
WWNT supports public television and quality children's programs like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, weekdays at 5 p.m. on WGVU and WGVK channels 35 and 52.
Getting the most truck for your money is a simple process of elimination. If you want standard anti-lock brakes, eliminate Toyota. If you want more standard payload, eliminate Ford Ranger. And if you want the best-selling compact pickup in Western Michigan, eliminate everybody else, which leaves Chevy S10. And now you can get an S10 Tahoe with a V6, sliding rear window, stereo cassette, and more for just $9,072. See your West Michigan Chevy dealer today.
When a muffler goes, some people look for a cheap replacement. Fact is, they can get a quality Midas muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, a guaranteed economizer muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, installed by experts starting at $24.95. Don't believe anybody ever beats Midas.
Yes, but in Grand Rapids, Midas beats Midas. Our famous Midas economizer muffler is available right now and right here, starting at $19.95. Better hurry.
Welcome to Chianti, Kalamazoo's newest Italian restaurant. Here at Chianti, we share the Italians' love affair with food and wine in a relaxed bistro atmosphere. A carafe of fine Chianti wine awaits your arrival, or select from our wine list. Our food is hearty, served from the heart and soul. The bread is baked fresh hourly, and portions are the size Mama would serve. Entrees start at under $10. Sit back, relax, and share in this passion of food and drink. Chianti, great Italian steak and seafood.
Well, you can make your plans now to be at the ballpark on Thursday, August 6th, when the Tigers host the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:35. The first 25,000 adults aged 21 and older in attendance will receive a free Tigers wool replica cap, compliments of Budweiser. Now you call for tickets at 963-7300. Getting a look at the caps. Pitch is outside to Pettis, who will lead off in the 6th. He was the leadoff man in the 5th, and he opened the inning with a double. Scored the first run in the 5th inning. Tigers scored 4 times to take a 6-2 lead. This one's inside. The Atlanta Braves scored 2 in the 12th. They beat the Cardinals 9-7, and the Braves made a major trade today. They got Mark Davis, the left-hander, from the Kansas City club.
Berenguer went to Kansas City from Atlanta. Berenguer, of course, former Tiger. Davis, Cy Young Award winner with the San Diego Padres a few years back.
Just getting the attendance figures, 13,890. 13,890. The old ballpark tonight. From last night, family night last night, 2 for the price of 1. We had 25,000 plus. A 2-2 pitch to Pettis. He struck him out with a curveball. 12 strikeouts for Randy Johnson. But he trails 6-2 here in the 6th inning. Tony Phillips is the batter. You see the KKKs. They're keeping count of the strikeouts.
That's his career high, 12. He's done it 2 times in his career.
Tony has walked twice tonight and struck out. And he takes a curveball.
Well, this guy would be a nasty reliever, wouldn't he? Closer, as hard as he throws and that breaking ball. If he knows he's only going to pitch for 1 or 2 hitters, he can come in there and probably throw the ball harder than he's throwing it now.
Yeah, you wonder why. He's 5-10 on the year. You wonder why he's not 10-2 or something like that.
So he walks a lot of people. He has 4 tonight, and then obviously after the walks, probably gives up a big hit, or maybe they don't play well behind him defensively.
Strike 2 to Tony. We just put it up on the big scoreboard in left field that Randy Johnson now has 12 strikeouts, the most by a Seattle pitcher this year. Jerry Walker, general manager of the Tigers. This one is outside. Jerry's got to be liking what he's seeing on this trip.
I don't think Jerry's listed as general manager. Isn't he vice president of player personnel, something like that?
Something.
A lot of scouts on hand. There's quite a few. There's a scout Gordon right there behind him, scout for Toronto.
Tony strikes out. Number 13 tonight for Randy Johnson, and a personal all-time high for him.
Boy, it's tough to lay off this pitch when it's high. Look at it take off. Ball doesn't come nearly as hard when it's down, but up there, boy, it's very tough to stay on top of the ball.
Here's Dan Gladden. He's had a couple of hits tonight, and he bounced to second his last time up, which was a good time at bat. He had runners at first and second, nobody out. And he moved the runners over to second and third. Pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Randy Johnson struck out the side in the first inning. He's got a chance to do it here in the 6th inning. Fly ball to deep center field that will be caught. Gladden hit the ball well, and he's out. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-2, the Tigers lead it.
At 7-Eleven, we look at mornings a little differently. It started when store manager John Notaro went out for his daily run. And while thinking of ways to make his store better, it came to him. Speed. So now, not only does 7-Eleven carry the best of what you want in the morning, we also try our best to make sure you spend only 30 seconds or less in line, proving once again that inspiration is where you find it. Where 30 seconds or less makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, get the next. Killing those grungy fungi before they get racket and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
Tigers Baseball, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. The coverage most doctors accept and choose for themselves. By Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. And by Michigan Bell. Michigan Bell reminds you to just phone first. Michigan Bell, an Ameritech company.
Well, Randy Johnson has retired 18 men in the first 6 innings, and 13 of those have been on strikes.
And that's a career high for him, and he's had 12 on 2 other occasions, and he has broke his career high in strikeout. He's pitching a wonderful game. He's just been a little bit of wild, and 1 miscue at third base. It's been a much tighter ball game had it not been for that error at third base.
Now the 13 strikeouts are the good news. The bad news for Randy Johnson, he trails in this game 6-2. The Mariners are going to have to rally to pull it out for him. Frank Tanana has pitched well. He gave up a 2-run homer in the first inning, and that's been it. He's blanked the Mariners ever since. We'll be facing Kevin Mitchell leading off in the 6th inning. Jay Buhner and then Lance Parrish. He's retired Mitchell on a ground ball to third and a strikeout tonight. The ball hit on the ground into center field. Looked like at first Ryman was going to have a chance to pick it off, but it just picks up speed and takes off on this.
Yeah, he played him well around the pole. You see there another hanger by Frank. He's lucky he got away with just a base hit on this one. That was a hanger, and that's the kind of pitch the home run hitters love to see.
So a leadoff single, and the batter will be Jay Buhner. He's had a double in 2 trips. Struck out his first time, then he doubled. Ball, no strikes. The Oakland Athletics are batting in the bottom of the 9th. Trail New York 5-1. One strike to Jay Buhner.
Lancaster up in the bullpen for Detroit.
too high, and it's ball 2.
Frank may be losing it. He's throwing a lot of pitches up in the strike zone, particularly with the breaking ball. And some people are wondering when football starts.
It's ball 2 and strike 1. And our strike makes it 2-2. Texas beat Milwaukee in 10 innings. They got 3 in the top of the 10th. All the games in the East have been completed. The 2-2 pitch. He's out. Jay Buhner is caught looking at a fastball on the inside corner, and he's called out on strikes. It's 5 strikeouts for Tanana tonight.
Again, that fastball surprises the hitters. Throws so many off-speed pitches, so many slow curveballs that it throws your timing off, and you're sort of halfway looking for that slow breaking ball. And even though the fastball coming maybe in the low 80s, the middle 80s, really surprises the hitters.
Pitches inside to Parrish. We're getting action in the Seattle bullpen, which would seem to indicate they might have a new pitcher in the 7th inning. Ball 2. Lance has bounced to third tonight. He walked his last time up. Ball 2, no strikes.
Kerry Woodson, though, warming up in the bullpen for Seattle.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. Ball 2, strike 1 to Parrish. Has 7 home runs on the year as we look at Ken Griffey Jr.
You can get him to double up.
Ball 3. All the pitches to Parrish have been in close to him.
You got to play Lance to try to pull the ball. He very seldom ever hits the ball to right field.
Be ready for the 3-1 pitch. And he pops it up. Ryman will handle this one. Lance might have helped him out too. Pitch might have been up and in a little bit. He popped to the shortstop, second out of the inning. And Dave Valley will bat. Dave Valley has struck out and bounced to third tonight. Mitchell opened this inning with a single. Buhner struck out. Parrish popped to short, and Tanana trying to get this man and leave the runner at first base. Got the curveball over. This crafty veteran pitching about as well as he's pitched in several years.
He's really given the Tigers a lot of quality inning. He has completed 7 innings, 6 of his last 7 outings. His last outing was he threw the first pitch of the ball game, not realizing that was going to be all Oakland needed was a home run to Ricky Henderson. And Frank was shut out, and the Tigers were shut out 4-0.
He gave up those 4 runs in the first 2 innings and then blanked them the rest of the way. Hit to Skeeter Barnes. He goes to second in time for the out. We played 6 at the Kingdome, and the Tigers lead it 6-2.
If you see news in the making, call the News 3 hotline at 388-WWMT or on your Century Cellunet mobile phone, dial star WWMT.
The Dodge factory authorized clearance. Get up to $31.83 total savings on Dakota. Dakota 4x4 Club Cab, four-wheelers pickup of the year. With an available new Magnum V8, it can out-haul, out-tow any comparable Ford, Chevy, or import compact. And if you don't have a garage for your new Dodge, build one. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Around the corner, around the country, at work or play, go on your way, the convenience stores are Speedway.
At Speedway, United, and Checker, you'll always save on quality gasolines for less, plus a whole lot more. And now get $5 in free gas. Pick up your free Passport to Savings booklet for details and special savings, like Gatorade Thirst Quencher in the new grape flavor, just $1.29, and all Hershey candy bars, 2 for 79 cents.
We're on your way, the convenience stores of Speedway.
Now, the very best in NHRA drag racing comes to US 131 Dragway. July 24th through the 26th. 3 big days. You'll see top alcohol dragsters and top alcohol funny cars in the National Dragster Alcohol Showdown. Plus, don't miss the Parts Plus Auto Store's Saturday Night Showdown with Super Cop, Super Gas, and Super Street. See the top alcohol dragsters and funny cars in the country. Gates open at 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Get a $2 discount at your Parts Plus store. July 24th through 26th. US 131 Dragway.
Well, here it is. This is our Bud Batter's box inning, and going for the prize tonight is Elmer Ide from Kalamazoo. Now, if the Tiger hits a home run this inning, Elmer, you're going to win $100 and a share of a $10,000 bonus at the end of the season. So good luck to you, Elmer Ide from Kalamazoo.
Okay, and we have a new pitcher for the Mariners, and he's a rookie, Kerry Woodson. Young man was a starter at the beginning of this year in Double-A at Jacksonville. They said, hey, we don't think your future is a starter, so they moved him up to Calgary, and he made 10 relief appearances down there, and he has been in just one major league game. There it is, 2 1/3 inning, allowed 2 hits.
Travis Fryman will lead it off. He had to hit his last time up and batted in a run. Fryman, Fielder, and Tettleton, the Tiger batters. This one is low ball, too. Andy Johnson pitched the first 6 innings, struck out 13 batters, a personal all-time high for him. There's a pop fly into shallow right. Jay Buhner is there to put it away. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Serving all of West Michigan, this is Channel 3. We're West Michigan Television, WWMT.
Cecil takes it inside. For 2 with a walk tonight. Breaking ball inside, ball 2. Russell was batted in 52 runs in his last 56 games. He's been in a bit of a slump. Down low, and it's ball 3.
He's not looking for a sign, so that usually means he's going to take the pitch.
And he does. Ball 3, strike 1.
A lot of guys don't like to hit 3-0. They'd say, hey, if you're 3-0, they're going to have to throw 3-1 over 2.
And it's inside. Cecil gets a walk, his second walk tonight. Well, here's our Mystery Tiger again, and just one more clue. He came to the majors with Detroit in 1949. Boy, you're getting a good picture of him, too. And he hit 3 home runs in his first 2 games. If you haven't guessed by now who this is, we'll have the answer for you a little later. A native of the city of Chicago. Mickey Tettleton will bat left-handed for the first time. Takes a strike. He's had a home run tonight. 1 for 3. Strike 2. He got his 21st home run of the year in the 4th inning. That tied the ball game at 2, and in the 5th inning, the Tigers scored 4 times to take a 6-2 lead. He almost looked at 3 in a row. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung at it, and he did. But Tettleton is out on strikes. Second out of the inning, and it'll bring up Mark Kerry on. Mark's 0 for 3. But it was his ground ball with the bases loaded that skipped over the shoulder of Martinez for a 2-base error and 2 runs in. Low, ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes. Cecil is the runner at first with 2 outs. Drive to left, well hit, and this one's going to be caught by Mitchell against the wall. Kevin Mitchell went as far as he could go, and he crashed into the wall as he made the catch. We go to the bottom of the 7th, still 6-2 Detroit.
Let the games begin.
Bud Summer Games. Look for details wherever you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, or Bud Dry. You could win $1 million in gold.
How can you tell if something's high quality?
Well, you can squeeze it, sniff it, thump it, or bump it, but if you can't pump it, it's not a ballpark, Frank.
Ballpark Beef Franks are the high-quality hot dogs that plump when you cook them because they're always made with fresh, lean, 100% beef.
So go ahead and peel it, weigh it, press it, and caress it, but if you can't pump it, it's not a ballpark, Frank.
They plump when you cook them.
Michael, can we... Matthew! Michael! Come on. Matthew. It's okay. Michael?
Mr. Hanley.
Hi, Michael and Matthew have a 2 o'clock appointment with Dr. Green.
Why, yes, they do. Next Saturday.
We'll wait.
Well, the 7th inning went by without a Tiger home run, but we'd like to thank tonight's designated Bud batter, Elmer Ide from Kalamazoo, for entering, and we invite you to enter by sending your name, address, and phone number to Bud Batter's Box, Post Office Box 12, 286, St. Louis, Missouri, 63157. Here come the Mariners in the 7th inning. Kell is the leadoff man. He takes a strike. Followed by Reynolds and then Cotto. Henry Cotto. Omar Vizquel, he got him out with 2 on his last time up. 2nd and 3rd. Here's a ground ball to 2nd. And Phillips flips it on over to Cecil. Vizquel is out. And the batter will be Harold Reynolds.
Second baseman Harold Reynolds.
He's got a 7-game hitting streak on the line. He has bounced to 3rd and flied to center field. It's a final from Oakland. The Yankees beat Oakland again. There's a base hit. He keeps the streak alive as he lines it sharply into left field. A single single for Reynolds. He's at first with one out. And the batter will be Henry Cotta. Henry has walked, scored a run, hit by a pitch ball, and foul to the catcher.
And some more action in the bullpen. Lancaster up going for the Tigers again.
Pitch to Henry Cotto. It's a ball. Tigers in double play depth. This fellow runs pretty good. Takes it inside, ball two. Ball two, no strikes. First is Reynolds. He's single with one out. 2-0 pitch. Ball three. Tanana getting in a bit of a jam with Martinez, Griffey, and Mitchell coming up next. A strike. Ball three, strike one. He just laid that one in there and said hammer away at it, and Otto was taking all the way. Ball hit to Skeeter, out at second, and safe at first. Well, he had a double play ball, but he almost knocked him down with it. He hit it so hard. Skeeter did about as much as he could with it. This ball was hit hard.
Playing in close because Cotto runs well. And it's a screamer right down to Skeeter. He bobbled the ball, then throws the ball sidearm. It looks like it might have sailed going towards second base.
A good throw. I think he might still have had to. But he did as much as he could with it. Peter Barnes is not a third baseman. He plays there. Does a good job there, too. Here's Martinez, Edgar Martinez. A couple of hits. Ball, no strikes.
We'd love to get this guy out and have Ken Griffey lead off.
Yeah, let him bat tomorrow night. Or whenever. 1-0 pitch. Strike. It's 1-1. Martinez bounced to third base. Oh, he flied to center field very deep in the first inning. Then he singled. Then he doubled. He's a tough out. It's ball two and strike one to Martinez. He has 14 home runs this year. It equals his all-time high, and here's the man, Ken Griffey Jr. He had a two-run homer in the first inning. 2-1 pitch to Martinez. Going to get him out this time as he hits it high in the air to Gladden in left field. Martinez is out. The inning is over. We've played 7, and the Tigers lead it 6-2.
Wants to Jam City, and I'm the mayor.
Yo, fellas, how about a game of hoops? Hey, what? With you? No, with your mama. Mom?
This guy was good, but he was all dribble.
Say what? Come on, man.
Man, he deserved one of these.
Franchise, want to call Bud? Solid.
How smart is John Albers? As CEO of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up, he's pretty smart.
And since his company is growing 3 times faster than the industry, he's very smart. But if you knew his company saves thousands in airfare by flying Southwest Airlines, you'd think he was a genius.
I just like low fares, even on my last-minute flights.
John Albers and Southwest Airlines, just plain smart.
Oh, friends, it's Earl on the Home Plate Shopping Club. Listen, call in for Tiger tickets now. You get the great American pastime. You get these breathtaking items absolutely free. You get your helmets. You get your durable pictures that Sparky would love. We're a hit. Talk to me.
I've never seen such a bargain. Bless you, Earl.
Yeah, well, wait till you see what's next. This dazzling neon T-shirt from Jolly Rancher Candy. Just think, it'll make your child the brightest kid on the block. Call for tickets now.
Well, Tiger Stadium is the place to be on Sunday, August the 9th, when the Tigers take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, every youngster age 14 and under attending the afternoon game will receive a free Tigers neon T-shirt. Compliments of Jolly Rancher Candy. Chuck Waslick says he's going to get me one. He can find me in the woods when I'm looking for my golf ball.
What's he doing?
Well, I don't know. But it creates the usual brawl. Cecil was in the clubhouse. Now here he comes. What he needs is somebody to be a peacemaker. Now, Skeeter Barnes was hit on the very first pitch. I don't know exactly what started all of this. Back here a minute and see. You can see the manager and the coach talking to Valley, and they're telling him, hey, stay out of it. We're trying to calm things down here now, not do any more fighting. That's Valley. You can see Harold Reynolds usually, if you get 1 or 2 out of the center of it that are doing most of the fighting, you can calm it down. And evidently, Valley was the big man in there for Seattle. I don't know who the Tigers had in there, but Skeeter Barnes was in there. Of course, he raced to the mound. Well, they've got it settled pretty well, I would think. Now Valley's heading back out there, and his own teammates are having trouble with him. That's his manager, Plummer, right there. Who's now Kevin Mitchell telling Valley, he says, you're not going back into the center of it. Skeeter Barnes is headed for first base, but you would have to think he's going to be ejected from the game. This is Lance Parrish and Sparky. They want Skeeter Barnes' cap, I think. No, Parrish's cap. That's whose cap they're looking for. I believe they've thrown the pitcher out. I think that's the argument right now that Dave Phillips, the crew chief, umpire at first base, has notified Plummer that his pitcher's out of the game. His first pitch to Skeeter Barnes, he just plunked him good. Skeeter charged the mound, and Woodson is being ejected from the ball game. Yeah, let's look at it and see what happened here exactly. It happened so quickly that stunned everybody.
Well, no question he hits him, but I don't know why Skeeter, I mean, he hasn't done anything to hurt the ball club. Why they would be wanting to throw at him.
I'm not too sure he did throw at him.
No, I don't think he did either. That's what
I think it just got away from him, and there's no reason to throw at Skeeter Barnes. He hasn't hit a grand slam home run or anything. And it didn't look like that deliberate a pitch, but maybe Skeeter thought so. He did think so. He wouldn't have challenged the mound as he did. They did not put Skeeter Barnes out of the game, did they?
Yes, they did, yeah.
Oh, they did?
He's out.
Okay, yeah, that's Scott Livingstone.
Scott Livingstone was told to go run for him, and of course we have a new pitcher now, Jeff Nelson, another rookie, and he'll get as much time as he wants to warm up.
I don't know. There's something about being hit by a pitch ball these days that just sends you to the mound.
Well, you just don't expect it because nobody ever pitches inside anymore, and
while there's a break in the action, Al, we're going to pause for these messages on the Tiger Baseball Network.
Attention, everyone who owns a car. Rust is on the way. And if you think a manufacturer's warranty is going to stop it, just look around. Fortunately, there is something that can stop rust. Z-Bart Tidy Car. Right now, save 50% on our Z-Bart Rust Protection Package. Get rust protection, fabric protection, and sound deadener for just $2.69. Hurry, offer ends soon. We're in the white pages.
Introducing Color Match, the acrylic polish that actually matches your car's original color to cover all those minor nicks and scratches with a protective shine. Watch how it works. First, we'll damage this car's paint. Now watch as we apply the Color Match system. The scratches just disappear. Even dull, faded finishes are brought back to the car's original color with an acrylic finish that won't wash off even after 50 times through the car wash. All other polishes are obsolete with Color Match.
Available at Kmart, Perry, Meijer, and CVS.
Okay, the new pitcher is Jeff Nelson, 37 games. That's tied for the lead on this ball club in games appeared in. He is a rookie contract, recall from Calgary in April. He's out of Baltimore, Maryland. And again, he'll get as much time as he would like to warm up. 43 innings, 46 hits, 21 base on balls.
This guy's a pretty good pitcher. We've seen him before this year. He's got good stuff, but you look at his stats, he's 0-4 on the year without a single save and has appeared in more games than any other pitcher.
Scott Livingstone now in place of Skeeter Barnes, who was ejected from the game.
So they ejected the pitcher and Skeeter, and we got a new pitcher, and we're ready to go. Jack Nelson here in the 8th inning with a runner at first and nobody out. Blue Jays just scored a run in the 7th. They lead California 6-5. And the pitch to Cruder is high. It's been a good night for Chad. He's been to the plate 3 times and he struck out 3 times. All of that was against the starter, Randy Johnson. Big swing and a foul tip, and it's 1-1. One ball, one strike. We're in the 8th inning at the Kingdome. The Tigers 6 and the Mariners 2. Hits are even at 6 apiece, but a big 4-run 5th inning broke it open for the Tigers. A strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jack Nelson is the third Seattle pitcher tonight. Here's a ball hit deep into right field, way back, and it's going to be caught at the fence, right up against the fence. Jay Buhner, maybe a step from the fence, pulled it in as Cruder made a bid for a home run.
Jeff thought he might have one here. He gets a good swing on it. Ball was middle of the plate down, which he likes. Buhner goes right back and just about against the wall.
First out of the inning, and the batter will be Pettis. Gary Pettis. Walked, doubled, scored a couple of runs tonight. And he's stolen a base. He's been a factor in this ball game.
His second game since being called up from Toledo. Got a base hit last night.
This one is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Randy Johnson started. Woodson in the 7th. Nelson here in the 8th. Frank Tanana's gone all the way for the Tigers. Strike to Pettis. Makes it 1-2. Fouled off. One ball, 2 strikes. Scott Livingstone is the runner at first base. He's in the game in place of Skeeter Barnes, who was ejected along with the pitcher, Kerry Woodson. The little altercation at the mound. Strike 3 call. Gary Pettis is called out on strikes. 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and the batter will be Tony Phillips.
Pettis way away from the plate, and he has a legitimate call right there. That ball was a foot outside.
Pettis wanted to argue about it, but he didn't say a whole lot, but you can tell by the look on his face he didn't agree with the call. 1 strike to Tony Phillips. Jack Nelson is the pitcher. Delivers a curveball low. Jeff Nelson. One ball, 1 strike to Tony. He has struck out twice and walked twice tonight. Bounces up there. Ball 2 and strike 1. Rather quiet crowd here at the Kingdom. 13,000 plus. A lot of them have departed the scene, but they're rather quiet after the ruckus at the mound. Ball 4. So a walk to Phillips. Tigers have him at first and second for Dan Gladden. He's had a couple of hits in this game. Batted in the first Tiger run in the 3rd inning. It's kind of a lonesome feeling. All by himself. Friend in the world. They're all sitting around him. One ball, no strikes to Gladden. Tigers would like to pad their lead. You can't get too many in this little ballpark. There's a strike. Fenway Park. Even more so with the artificial surface. A lot of things can happen. First and second, 2 outs. Ground ball to second. Harold Reynolds flips it on over to first base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2. Detroit leads it.
The one to watch is 3. Real-time closed captioning, only on News 3. News 3 closed captioning is sponsored by Bronson Methodist Hospital.
Attention, everyone who owns a car. Rust is on the way. And if you think a manufacturer's warranty is going to stop it, just look around. Fortunately, there is something that can stop rust. Z-Bart Tidy Car. Right now, save 50% on our Z-Bart Rust Protection Package. Get rust protection, fabric protection, and sound deadener for just $2.69. Hurry, offer ends soon. We're in the white pages.
As if drinking Pepsi wasn't rewarding enough, now they have a Gotta Have It card.
Hey, Cindy, park your car. Change your oil, rotate your tires.
It gets you lots of great deals like $10 off Reebok shoes.
Would you like a Pepsi, Cindy? Can we measure your feet, Cindy?
Can you believe all the attention you get with this card?
Can I tie that for you, Cindy? Try these, Cindy.
Is this a great card or what?
We definitely gotta get one of those cards.
The Pepsi Gotta Have It card. Look for it wherever you buy Pepsi.
Quality is hitting the mark for Buick. That's the convincing conclusion of the Design Use Automotive Engineer Survey. Buick was ranked higher than any import manufacturer, with 2 Buicks among the top 10. Buick Regal, a lean and agile mid-size masterpiece. And Buick LeSabre, the car rated a best buy by both Consumers Digest and Motor Trend. Right now, get low 3.9% 48-month GMAC financing, or up to $1,500 factory cash back. See your Better Buick dealer today.
Heard all the clues. Can you name our mystery tiger tonight?
Sure can. Johnny Groth.
Here he is. Good-looking fellow, Johnny Groth. Good ball player. It's going to be Ken Griffey Jr. to lead off here in the 8th inning, followed by Mitchell and then Jay Buhner. He hits it on the ground to second. Tony Phillips picks it off, and they get a big out on 1 pitch here in the 8th inning.
I just want to say, I was wondering how the long delay will affect Frank Tanana sitting on the bench, going into the 8th inning, whether or not he was stiffen up.
I'll tell you what he did, Al. I was watching him. He was the first player on the field, standing on the mound, waiting for everybody to get out there and warm up. Whatever that meant. He was ready to go.
Daugherty and Munoz.
Kevin Mitchell is the batter. He's had a single tonight in 3 trips. And he bounces it to third. Here's the long throw by Livingstone. That ball, I think, Weller's coming very close to Mitchell. Might have hit him if he hadn't hit the ball. Ooh, look at it again. Curveball just kept boring in on Mitchell. Watch this. Couldn't get a real good look at it, but it was coming right in on him. Whatever, Tanana likes it. 2 quick outs in the 8th inning, and the batter will be Jay Buhner. He's had a double tonight and 2 strikeouts. Inside to Buhner. Frank still pitching Buhner right in on his fist. And he's behind 2-0. Well, has 15 home runs this year. He fouls this one off. So ball 2 and a strike 1 count. Buhner batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Strike 2. Got the inside part of the plate, and the count is even at 2-2. Ready for the 2-2 pitch. We'll make it 3-2. Staying right in on the inside to Jay Buhner. Much like Cecil, likes the ball out over the plate. Frank, I would think now we just throw him a strike. High curveball. Hammers it hard but foul. Parrish would bat next if Buhner gets on. A very up and down season for Seattle. They've waited till nearly mid-season to see whether they're going to stay here or move somewhere. He walked him. Buhner gets a 2-out walk. The batter will be Lance Parrish. That's going to be all. Sparky's on his way to the mound. I think he wants a right-hander to come on and pitch to Parrish. He does. The signal goes to the bullpen. I would assume that's John Doherty.
Great performance by this veteran left-hander who has gone from a power pitcher who was one of the hardest throwing pitchers in all of baseball to a finesse pitcher, and has improved as the season's went on.
Yes, sir. He has gotten better every outing, and another great performance, Al.
Yeah, you watch him and you can learn an awful lot how to pitch when this guy's on the mound.
While there's a break in the action, we'll pause for these messages on the Tiger Baseball Network.
Quality is hitting the mark for Buick. That's the convincing conclusion of the Design Use Automotive Engineer Survey. Was ranked higher than any import manufacturer, with 2 Buicks among the top 10. Buick Regal, a lean and agile mid-size masterpiece. And Buick LeSabre, the car rated a best buy by both Consumers Digest and Motor Trend. Right now, get low 3.9% 48-month GMAC financing, or up to $1,500 factory cash back. See your better Buick dealer today.
At Acme Bedding Company, we build quality mattresses and box springs. You'll find a variety of models to choose from, all at factory direct savings. The luxury Deep Quilt 1 twin-size mattress or box spring is just $110 each. Full-size, $140 each. And the queen-size set, $370. You'll find the perfect sleep set at factory direct savings. This week at Acme Bedding Company in Kalamazoo.
John Doherty, the new pitcher for the Tigers, replacing Frank Tanana. John's been in 30 games this year, 2-1 record, 2 saves. He pitched in last night's game, faced 4 batters in 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a base hit, 1 run. He walked 1 in his last 6 appearances. So over a 6 2/3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. He's walked 1 and struck out 3. Good fastball. Not much of a breaking ball. It's something that they're going to have to work on for this guy. If he ever did come up with a good breaking ball, he's going to be a good pitcher. But right now he's relying on a fastball and trying to keep it down in the strike zone.
He'll face Pete O'Brien, batting for Lance Parrish with a runner at first base and 2 outs.
And the bullpen's done the job over the last 13 games.
Tanana got the first 2 batters. Here's Frank. He retired Griffey Jr. on a bounce out, Mitchell on a bounce out, and on a 3-2 pitch, he walked Jay Buhner. And rather than let him pitch to Parrish, they decided to let Doherty pitch to the left-handed hitting O'Brien. A strike as he gunned a fastball over the outside part of the plate. Pete O'Brien. It'll make it 1-1. This fellow's got a little pop in his bat. You have to be careful with it. He bounces it to second. And the inning is over. Doherty does his job as he gets O'Brien. We go to the ninth, 6-2. The Tigers lead it.
WWMT supports public television and quality children's programs like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, weekdays at 5 p.m. on WGVU and WGVK channels 35 and 52.
Commitment. Discipline. The pursuit of excellence. These are the qualities your Lennox 5-star dealer brings to the science of heating and air conditioning your home.
Since 1932, Jacobson Heating and Cooling has served the greater Grand Rapids area.
Call Jacobson, your 5-star Lennox dealer.
Excellence from your Lennox 5-star dealer.
At Big Sur Waterbeds, this waterbed sells for just $266.99. How do we sell it for so little? Simple. We own the factory. That's how we keep quality high and prices low. $266.99 also buys the Oakhurst, the New York, the Balboa, this Daybed, the Austin, the Sedona, and more. Great comfort and factory direct savings from Big Sur Waterbeds. 6934 West Edge Avenue in Portage, also Grand Rapids and Battle Creek.
Sometimes the world can seem a little overwhelming. Easy answers are hard to come by. And let's face it, Congress isn't setting any records on problem solving. But in late July, they'll vote on a simple idea: lower cable rates. It won't save the environment, fix unemployment, or guarantee world peace. But just maybe, it will mean a few extra bucks in our pocket. Now that's something Congress can get done. Call your congressman at this number. Ask him to vote for the Cable Consumer Protection Act.
We're going to take a look at the Metro Detroit Quality Ford Dealers American League scoreboard. Baltimore lost to Chicago 10-7. Cleveland beat Minnesota 5-2. Texas 6-3 in 10 innings over Milwaukee. 8-0 Kansas City on a one-hitter beat Boston. 5-1 New York beat Oakland. And in the 8th inning, Toronto leads California 6-5.
And the new pitcher, Russ Swan, he is now the closer in the bullpen since Schooler, who was on the disabled list.
Pitches outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Fryman. He's the leadoff man here in the 9th inning. 1 hit in 4 trips and a run batted in for Fryman tonight. Polito Picardo pitched a 1-hitter for Kansas City over Boston.
All right. And O'Brien stays in the game. He pinched hit for Lance Parrish, now at first base.
Pitches outside, ball 3. 3-1. 9th inning at the Kingdome in Seattle. The Tigers with a 6-2 lead. Swan pitching in relief. Bouncer to third base. And the long throw to first. In time. Well, Fryman is out. The batter will be Cecil Fielder. Cecil has struck out twice and walked twice. Got a lot of strikeouts. Randy Johnson struck out 13 men in the 6 innings he was in there. Got a couple cents. 15 Tiger batters have struck out tonight. A 2-0 pitch to Cecil and a ground ball up the middle. Reynolds, long throw, and he's going to get him. Would have been a base hit for most people, but they placed Cecil well around toward shortstop, and Harold Reynolds made an easy play out of it. The batter will be Mickey Tettleton. Mickey's had a home run tonight, struck out twice and popped to second. no strikes. Only one game going on. That's at the Big A in Anaheim. They're in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays have a 1-run lead over California. It's a 2-0 pitch. All 3. All 3 no strikes. Makes it 3-1 to Tettleton. He hit his home run batting right-handed against Randy Johnson. This is out of play. A ball 3 and a strike 2 count. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning. Bottom third of the batting order for Seattle. Valley, Vizquel, and Harold Reynolds. He walked him. So a 2-out walk to Tettleton will bring Mark Kerry on to the plate. Kerry on is hitless. He's hit a couple of balls hard tonight. Buhner picked off a line drive in right center, and Mitchell crashed into the fence in left field to get his line drive his last time up. Takes a strike from Swan. Bouncer to third. Martinez goes to second. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 6-2, the Tigers lead it.
At 7-Eleven, we look at selection a little differently. That's why 9 out of 9 berries pick us as their place to quench a thirst, even if they can't agree on why. You see, John likes the Coca-Cola Super Big Gulp, and Marie, who sometimes doesn't like John, always likes a Diet Pepsi. And then there's Pat, who likes Gatorade, but wishes he was somewhere else. Now, the berries could go to another convenience store with a lesser selection, but it could get ugly. The selection makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
How smart is John Albers? As CEO of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up, he's pretty smart. And since his company is growing 3 times faster than the industry, he's very smart. But if you knew his company saves thousands in airfare by flying Southwest Airlines, you'd think he was a genius.
I just like low fares, even on my last-minute flights.
John Albers and Southwest Airlines, just plain smart.
May I have your order?
Fast food.
Your order, sir.
A time-saving idea that's become too complicated to be fast. Try Rallies instead. Our menu is simple, and our hamburgers are great. When you don't have time for fast food, drive into Rallies. Rallies has it right.
Here come the Mariners in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Tigers 6 and the Mariners 2. Dave Valley is the scheduled batter, but Tino Martinez is going to bat for him. Tino Martinez will come on and bat for Valley. Tino Martinez. John Doherty is the pitcher. He came on in the 8th inning with a runner at first base, 2 outs, and he got the pinch hitter O'Brien to bounce to second base. Now he faces his second pinch batter, Tino Martinez. Strike delivered by Doherty.
The Seattle Ball Club likes this young man a great deal. In fact, they probably wish that they could dump Pete O'Brien, because this kid's going to be a good hitter.
He flies to left field. Gladden is there, and there's 1 out in the 9th inning. Well, they got a lot of money money invested in O'Brien. I mean, they owe him a lot on his salary, and it's tough to trade a man when he has a big contract. Omar Vizquel, he's the batter, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Doherty. First time he's batted left-handed tonight. This one is outside. 6-2, the Tigers lead it. John Doherty trying to save it for the Tigers, and Frank Tanana, Frank's 9th win. Grounder to third. Scott Livingstone puts it on over to Cecil Fielder. Second out of the inning, and it's all up to Harold Reynolds. Harold Reynolds kept his 7-game hitting streak alive with a single his last time up. Two outs, nobody on. Dave Cochran has moved into the on-deck circle. He would bat for Cotto if Reynolds gets on. A strike. One strike to the switch-hitting second baseman. We'll make it 1-1. Strangely enough, we haven't had many hits in this game. 6 for each team. A lot of strikeouts. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A strike makes it 1-2, and Harold Reynolds says you must be going to catch an airplane. It's 1-2 to Reynolds. Getting ready for what he hopes will be the final pitch of this game. A little too much time to suit Reynolds. It's taking even more. I don't know. Doherty had been pitching very fast, and all of a sudden, now he's ready. Nothing wrong with his pitch either. He came right in on him with a good line fastball, and Reynolds just got a piece of it. This fellow's glad he did. He got a souvenir baseball. It's a ball and 2 strikes as Doherty gets ready again. We'll make it 2-2. Got hit number 1,000 back in June.
He's only the second player in Mariner history to get 1,000. I think Alvin Davis.
Davis had a great career here. He leads the Mariners in home runs by a wide margin. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Reynolds is caught looking. Doherty gets him out 1-2-3 in the 9th inning. Nothing across. The final score of the game. The Tigers 6, the Mariners 2, and we'll be right back.
Game time is no time for distractions, which is why we created the 7-Eleven Sports Stop, so you can get everything you need for the big game in one trip. Like a major league selection of beer and soft drinks from coolers maintained at 35 degrees cold, and every kind of snack food imaginable. Sure, other stores offer convenience, but 7-Eleven has everything a sports fan needs. Everything. For the Sports Stop makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
You take me back to that feeling.
Remember that great feeling of rolling down the road knowing your car is safe and running right? Your professional automotive technician wants you to keep that great feeling. That's why more and more of America's top professionals are installing top-quality CarQuest parts. You depend on them to fix your car right the first time, and they depend on CarQuest for their parts.
And CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
Michigan Bob is not a large company, so Blue Cross taking care of my insurance benefits for my employees saves me time. I don't want to have a person devoted full-time to filling out claim forms and having to explain to people day after day, yes, this is your coverage for that, having to get on the phone, call the carrier and say, why didn't you pay this, why didn't you pay that? We don't have to do that with Blue Cross. What they're taking care of with the employee, I don't have to work on.
Well, our Bud Light Tiger player of the game is Frank Tanana. Frank pitched 7 2/3 innings tonight, gave up only 2 runs that came in the very first inning on a walk and a 2-run homer by Griffey. And he picked up his 9th win of the year and another outstanding performance. So our congratulations to Frank Tanana, our Bud Light Tiger player of the game. Well, that's it from the King Dome in Seattle. For Al Kaline, this is George Kell, hoping you'll be with us this Thursday night at 10:30 when the Tigers take on the California Angels. Once again, the final score here tonight, the Tigers 6 and the Mariners 2.
Tiger Baseball, brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beer, who reminds you, friends know when to say when. And by your neighborhood 7-Eleven stores, proud sponsors of Tigers Baseball.